She goal! She wasn't going for goal, but she'll happily accept it.
It's gone all the way through, and look at this! Chewinga! Did you dare write Barcelona off?
The career of one of the all-time greats is all but over.
Nice comeback.
Uma oportunidade de dizer alguma coisa que eu acho que nunca disse.
Let's get this party started!
NFL Game Pass is now exclusively on DAZN.
Let's get this thing going.
Watch every game, plus the playoffs and Super Bowl. It's your all-access pass.
That's how you fight a southpaw. Well on his way to coming back.
Katie Taylor does it again. Look at the emotion.
We are live from Atlanta, Georgia, the ATL at the OTE Arena, boxing's newest proving ground, and a venue that has quickly become one of the very best and the liveliest in the sport of boxing. The fans here tonight are pumped up for our main event between Lorenzo "Truck" Simpson and Raiko Santana, who we see entering the building right now. The Cuban amateur standout, over 250 amateur wins in a pro career based on testing blue chip prospects just like the one he'll face tonight. Truck Simpson, who last year suffered his first and only professional loss right here in the OTE Arena, continues his road to redemption here at OTX8.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome. From the four corners of the world, to the four corners of this ring, the fight starts now!
How do you like it? Off the shoulder.
So aggressive, so focused.
Look at these two guys.
Still the undisputed champion of the world.
And we welcome you inside the OTE Arena, another sold-out crowd and another party atmosphere here in Atlanta. Consistently one of the hottest tickets in the city, and every seat will be filled here tonight as we look ahead towards our main event between Truck Simpson and Raiko Santana. Hello everyone, I am Corey Erdman alongside Akin Barak. Pleased to be calling the action for you all night long here from ringside. And guys, it's been a busy couple of days here in this quadrant we've been in here in Atlanta. We've had a presidential debate, we've had the Copa America in town, but the most entertainment, the best show, it's going to be right behind us here in the squared circle.
Oh, absolutely, but there's no real debate. better than an Ak and Barak debate.
I agree.
That I always win anyway. But the atmosphere is getting more and more like a club every time. The only thing we really missing is like a kid with a fake ID trying to get in.
No doubt. Listen, I got love for H-Town, so shout out to Houston, but there's no place like home. And being in this building has me edgy. I mean, the people are dressed and ready in true OTX fashion.
Yeah, I mean, and speaking of homecomings, we do want to do a little bit of housekeeping here off the top as well. If you're tuning in expecting to see a main event between Elijah Pierce and Jose San Martin, unfortunately, Elijah Pierce fell ill prior to yesterday's weigh-in, so that fight has been postponed, but you will see it here on Overtime Boxing a little bit later on this year. But all that means is that we have a new main event and a big opportunity for Lorenzo Simpson and Raiko Santana. Well, we have a fantastic card coming your way nonetheless as we take a look at tonight's action, which will kick off in the light heavyweight division with former U.S. National Amateur Champion Dante Lane taking on the multidisciplinary athlete Montrell James. Sticking in the light heavyweight division, K-Champ Casey Dixon will take on the son of a legend, Gerald McClellan Jr., in 4-round light heavyweight action. Well, this one has world title implications. A WBC featherweight title eliminator between another U.S. National Amateur Champion, Tiara Brown, will take on the former world champion, Gabriella Bouvier. This one has absolute warfare written all over it. The CompuBox busting machine, Malik Montgomery, takes on the always thrilling Cesar Juarez in 8-round super featherweight action. And, of course, our main event, a super middleweight contest between Lorenzo Truck Simpson and Raiko Santana. All right, let's chat about that main event between Truck Simpson and Raiko Santana, because as mentioned, we saw Truck here last summer in August taking his first professional loss against Vladimir 24K Hernandez. And as I was calling the fight, as people were watching the fight, you probably were saying to yourself, Truck's not looking like himself in there. And unbeknownst to the audience and to us, really until a couple of days ago, Truck was going through a lot, both physically and outside of the ring.
Yeah, absolutely. But he's still that prospect that we once thought he was. And we found out what it was. It was injuries to his foot and his shoulder. And the proof was he had shoulder surgery. But does that matter now? No. What matters now is, can he adjust with this new trainer right back in the same spot where he lost?
No, indeed, Barack. And even outside of the trainer, he himself admitted to us in the fighter meetings that he hadn't been preparing properly for these fights. And he got confirmation by one of the best fighters in the world, his good friend Gervonta Davis. He tells him, you will be world champion, but you have to prepare right for these fights. And he claims that in his camp, he did so, and he's more comfortable in his weight class.
Yeah, and he's got an A-list camp now training with Ronnie Shields in Houston. Ronnie Shields, he knows a thing or two about training some Cuban national amateur standouts. Well, they've got to prepare for one here tonight in Raiko Santana, a guy with 250 amateur wins, never made it to the Olympics or on that national team, but now since he's been a professional, he's been testing prospects. And guys, this is not a situation where Truck is tiptoeing into the deep waters. This is a legitimate test for him here tonight.
No, you just seen him on the phone, relaxed, laughing. He's comfortable, he's calm, you know, and his style kind of translated better in the pros anyway. This is not the guy you really want to come back to, but that goes to show it's going to be a tough fight.
Yeah, listen, I double down. I credit him for taking this opponent. Look, we know he has a win after the loss, but that was a soft touch in Houston that you witnessed. But this fight right here is super risky, so it speaks to the self-belief that he has in himself. Let's not forget, this kid was sought out by every major promoter in the business as an amateur for a reason. Some people might have forgotten. He's ready to remind everybody tonight.
Yeah, people have been saying that Truck Simpson will be world champion since he was, what, like 4 years old when he first became internet famous. So that journey towards a world title potentially continues here tonight, as it will for Tiara Brown, who will face a former world champion tonight in Gabriella Bouvier, a WBC featherweight title eliminator here tonight. Tiara Brown, part of just a fantastic era of U.S. women's amateur boxing. but she's seen a lot of her amateur contemporaries go on to professional glory, go on to win world titles. And we've been waiting for Tiara Brown to get an opportunity to get into a title fight. She can earn one here tonight.
We weren't the only ones waiting. She was waiting too. Some fighters got a chip on their shoulder, but she got a boulder on her shoulder because she grew up in the amateurs with everybody. She was the big sis, 35 years old now, and she's just getting her former title shot now,
yeah.
Former champion shot now at 17 fights.
She's frustrated, super frustrated. She's even calling names out. I don't want to name the names, but
Shot Nicholson, maybe.
She also has been DMing guys like Eddie Hearn, who's has a reputation of giving people opportunities after being in a DM. But look, better late than never. If she wins tonight, she could very well be fighting for a WBC world title next.
A big night of action coming your way here tonight. And if you haven't tuned in to Overtime Boxing in the past, well, we do things a little bit differently around here. If you can't tell by our outfits, we also have some overtime rules, including the Subway KO bonus. If a fighter scores a knockout at any point in the fight, he or she will go home with some extra cash in their pockets. And if they do it in one of the money rounds, that being the first or final round of the fight, they'll go home with even more money in their pockets. And that final round, it could be an overtime round as well. That's right. If the scorecards are even at the end of the allotted rounds, we'll go into an overtime round, which we have seen twice thus far in overtime boxing, including last time out when Giovanni Marquez pulled out an overtime win. But we are ready to get the action started here in Atlanta as we take a look at the tail of the tape. Dante Lane and Montrell Too Cold James. You see the measurables fairly even. Dante Lane, with just a 1-inch reach advantage, but the difference being that amateur pedigree. We mentioned Dante Lane, a U.S. national amateur champion. Montrell James, a self-trained, self-managed athlete who is competing in pro boxing here tonight.
My boxing style is my own. I don't try to mimic nobody else.
I'm doing this on the regular. We elite. We've been training with the best since day one. I'm too cold. Simple as that. It speaks for itself.
I'm sharp, strong, very precise in my punches. And every punch is not a soft punch. It's clockwork.
What makes me a dangerous fighter is because I'm too cold. You see, I'm here. I'm a champion in martial arts, and I will be a champion as a boxer. I inspire myself to fight.
I can't afford to let him win anything.
I match myself up with whoever I want to fight against, so I already beat them when I decided to sign the contract. He probably fought a guy that was one of them backyard beef guys. I'm not one of them.
My opponent should be scared because he knows I'm coming.
I see you soon.
We kick off the action, our opening contest in the super middleweight division. Making his ring walk, Montrell James.
Well, here is the 32-year-old Montrell James with a pro boxing record of 2-10, with an MMA record of 7-10, an amateur boxing record of 11-6, and a kickboxing record of 5-2. Essentially, if there's a fight out there for him to take, he's probably going to take it. And as we referenced earlier on in the broadcast, Montrell James, self-trained, self-promoted, self-managed, and he's talked himself into a big opportunity here tonight, fighting on Overtime Boxing.
Yeah, but fighting without a trainer is going to only get himself knocked out. I like the throw that he's wearing from my couch. That's nice.
Listen, boxing is a theater of the unexpected. As you all know, I've seen stranger things happen. Maybe not, but listen, I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to do with Dante Lane.
No, and I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying that, you got to do it the right way. You got to have a trainer. But I do respect that he's just a fighter. And you named every record he has except his street record.
That's right, which apparently is pretty gaudy as well. But to be fair to Montrell James, last time out he scored an upset win over the 5-1 Raymond Hansen. Maybe not on the level of a Dante Lane. But back in 2022, James fought Joseph Hicks, who we've seen here on DAZN. He lasted 4 rounds with him before getting stopped. Hicks was named named the captain of the U.S. Olympic team at one point. So James has been in this type of situation before and has given decent rounds to top prospects. He has the very same task here tonight.
His counterpart, Dante Lane.
And here comes the 21-year-old Dante Lane, fighting for the third time as a professional, fighting for the third time here on Overtime Boxing, and looking to collect his third straight Subway KO bonus. He's been cashing those checks, guys. He's been eating off the premium menu at Subway. Extra protein, extra cheese, whatever he wants.
I think he just became the Subway Employee of the Month. You know, keep breaking in those knockout victories. I like the fact that he's still fighting this kind of opponent because he's young, he's still learning. I'm not trying to say he's green, but I just don't like when fighters get rushed.
Yeah, well, his trainers did say that they're moving him at the right pace, but they do want him fighting 6 to 8 fights a year, so yeah, they have to speed up that pace.
Dante Lane moving at a sensible pace in terms of his opposition inside the ring, inside the gym. Obviously, being in New York City, guys, you know you're going to get good work. He's been in there quite often with guys like Khalil Coe and Mighty Joe Ward, getting those lessons in the gym and putting those lessons to work here tonight again at Overtime Boxing.
We welcome you to the newest proving ground in professional boxing, OTE Arena, Atlanta, Georgia. This is another edition of OTX Friday Night Fights, powered by C4 Energy, energy that hits. Pick it up at any local GNC. Tonight's contests are being sanctioned by the Georgia Athletic and Entertainment Commission. Executive Director is Matt Woodruff. We start the action with this bout set for 4 rounds or less in the super middleweight division. Our judges scoring the action ringside. We have Ed Canner, Pat Cronin, and Nola Oliver. Presenting first, the fighter standing in the blue corner. This well-traveled, natural-born brawler and professional MMA fighter tonight enters the OTX ring in his 13th bout as a pro. The ultimate underdog, repping the St. Louis, Missouri, Montreal, Tuco J. His opposition in the red corner, this highly decorated amateur, including a 2022 National Golden Gloves title and a 2-time U.S. Amateur Champion tonight. He continues to blaze his way through the pro ranks with an undefeated record of 2-0. And now he goes for his 3rd consecutive Subway KO bonus from Elmont, New York, Dante Lane. With last words and final instructions, referee Cornelius Stevenson.
All right, trunks are good here. Trunks are the highest. We're going to work right here. Obey my command at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Touch them up, come out to the corner.
Here we go. We are ready for our opening contest. Dante Lane searching for win number 3 in his pro career, and perhaps first round knockout number 3, so he can cash that Subway KO bonus. Montreal James also looking for win number 3 in his career. Build upon that 2-10 record as he's once again tasked with testing a prospect in Dante Lane, and lands a couple of good shots here in the early going.
Catch him cold.
Definitely trying to catch him cold, but you can see that there's no really technical skills by James. Just wild barrage of pressure.
Cherokee.
You know, sometimes fighters think that when they're not as skilled or doesn't have as much amateur fights and kind of experience, they want to overwhelm the young fighter, especially him being an older man. He feels like he could overwhelm him.
And, you know, to be honest, these type of fighters that are awkward and, you know, don't fight like traditional fighters sometimes become a little difficult. It's not what they're used to sparring with or working with.
Right, 100%, because you're looking for a 1-2. You're looking for straight punches. You're looking for proper punches, and sometimes they don't do that.
And nothing particularly predictable about Montrell James. You see those wild shots over the top as Dante Lane rips him to the body, and then a nice left hand comes right behind it.
That's a way to slow down a guy who's aggressive and awkward.
I like it, Dante's defense this time around.
Hard shot to the body again, and Lane told us in fighter meetings that's the main strategy in this fight, is to target the body. He feels that James carries his hands a little bit too high, but it's that right hook that has James wobbled. Could we see the third straight first-round knockout for Dante Lane? Down goes James in round one.
No, referee said,
and the referee will call that a slip. I mean, that could have been judged a different way.
He was hurt, but he was
James in trouble nonetheless.
Listen, Dante's doing what he's supposed to do with this level of an opponent. Still calm, though, and picking his shots. Not overly aggressive.
I like that he's going to the body as well, Dante.
About 45 seconds to keep that streak.
Hard body shot there from Lane, and you're right, has not forgotten about that strategy, has not forgotten about the body.
I think James landed one punch, and it was a right hand. It was a pity pat. Everything else, it seems like Dante slipped.
Credit to James for taking some serious body shots and still standing.
Once again, we are in the money round. There is a cash incentive for a knockout in the opening round.
The referee's looking close, Corey. I think you might get that.
Montrell James is out.
Looks like he gets it.
Dante Lane heading back to the bank. That is a scary, scary knockout.
It was a very dangerous fall. I hope the young man is okay.
As Montrell James getting some assistance, making his way back to the stool. Good to see James up and communicating with the medical staff here ringside. Well, let's take a look back at how Dante Lane ended this one.
That was a Joe Frazier hop when he fought George Foreman. And right there, we thought it was a knockdown, but he kind of pushed him down. The referee called that a slip. And this was the end of it right here. That right hand got in, and this is the shot right here that did it. Pop! Right hand. And he actually pushed him down a little bit more. Here we go, the ending of the fight. This right hand was vicious, right on the chin.
Yeah, Montrell James was out before that right hook landed, and that just finished the job. That is a frightening knockout from Dante Lane, who's now done that 3 times in a row to start his professional career. A tough night for Montrell James, who gave it everything he had. I mean, he tried to get physical with Dante Lane. He landed a couple of good shots in the opening 10 seconds, but ultimately the skill differential way, way, way too vast for him to make up here tonight.
Right, this is not something that we didn't expect, you know, but he was just giving his all.
So Dante Lane improves to 3-0. You heard Lupe Contreras, who will make this official in a few moments, mentioning Dante Lane being the 2022 U.S. National Amateur Champion in his weight class. And if you do the calendar math, you can obviously understand that this is a man who had very real Olympic aspirations. That was a very real possibility for him. Instead opted to turn professional. Obviously a big opportunity to link up with Overtime Boxing and build his career that way. So this is a prospect to keep your eye on. in the years to come. Knockout wins over Nathan Mitchell, Deshaun Mitchell, and now Montrell James to start the career of Dante Lane, and certainly getting the crowd fired up in the OTE arena. And you know, these are real fight fans too, because they're showing up early. All right, Montrell James being tended to, but back up to a vertical base, and it looks like we are ready to make this one official as we send it back up to our MC, Mr. Lupe Contreras.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the OTX ring, this bout concludes with an official time of 2 minutes 52 seconds of the opening round. Your victor and taking home his third consecutive Subway KO bonus. Look at him now. Look at him now. The undefeated Dante Lane.
So Dante Lane grabs the bag once again. The Subway KO bonus for the third consecutive time for Dante Lane, doing it in the opening round. And Dante is standing by with Ak.
Congratulations. Spectacular knockout. I want to go into what it is to fight a guy that's not a traditional boxer and is very awkward, throwing punches from different angles and a bit aggressive. How difficult is that?
Well, first of all, it's not really difficult. It's more of an adjustment. You know, once you get guys like that, that could be your hardest fight because they're not natural boxers like you said. But we spend no time in the gym to know what he's gonna do, know how he's gonna fight. So that's why we're able to make that adjustment.
And you got the first round knockout again, a nice little streak. What you plan on spending that bonus money on?
Man, on myself, man. Whatever comes to mind, I'm just gonna buy it. I don't even care.
All right, listen. Your trainers have said in the fighting meetings that they want to keep you busy, 6 to 8 fights a year. Do you think that that's what's next? How many more times do you want to fight this year?
I already fought twice this year, so hopefully 3-4 more times, man. Every 6 weeks or 2 months, whatever it is, that's what I want to do.
Well, congratulations. Great performance, Dante. Looking forward to seeing you again. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Ak. Another spending spree on its way for Dante Lane. 3 fights, 3 first-round knockouts, all here on the Overtime Boxing platform. What a way to start his pro career. As we take a look back at the highlights here, we see Lane hurting Montrell James early and often. And we see how he finished this one off. Just an unprotected right hook, a frightening knockout for Dante Lane as Montrell James falls to 2-11. And we take a look at the CompuBox punch stats. Only 1 round to count. You see Dante Lane obviously out-throwing and outlanding Montrell James in this one, but it was that right hook that was the conclusive shot for Dante Lane in our opening contest. Well, just a reminder that the Overtime Boxing 154-pound tournament is still rolling along. More action still to come this year as 4 fighters remain in the hunt for the tournament title. A tremendous looking tournament full of guys looking for an opportunity.
You're going to fight the best, and that's it. Nobody can dodge anybody.
The cannon detonates.
This is the best division in boxing.
If that's the kind of fight you can expect from this tournament, you do not want to miss any of these fights. Like Rockets, that's a right hand. Catch the semifinals of the OTX Super Welterweight 154-pound tournament this August at OTX 10.
Okay, I'm here with the C4 winner, the C4 Fight of the Night winner, Andreas Katarakis. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great, man. Doing
All right. So, did you get a lifetime supply of C4?
I don't know. I hope so. I mean, I haven't gotten it yet.
All right. So, how do you feel making it to the semifinals of this tournament, OTX 10?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great. To be honest, I mean, entering the tournament, I expect to win the tournament. So, but you know, every step, every fight, it's nice getting there.
Right, so I know you're confident and you're going to be there and you're going to get past Robert, but who do you think is going to be on the other side of that ring in the finals?
I think both of them are good fighters. Veron comes with probably more awkward combinations and brings more volume to the fight. But I think Brandon has a very good left hook and left uppercut, and I mean, he might catch him. 10 rounds are enough.
That's not a bad pick. All right, you was the C4 fighter tonight winner last time. Who do you think is going to be the C4 fighter the winner tonight?
Here tonight? Many good fights, man. Many good fights. I think the main event is up there. Lorenzo Simpson versus the Cuban guy, I think it's up there.
That's not a bad bet. That's not a bad bet. But you know what? It's up to you guys. Thank you very much. I need you guys to go to the Overtime Instagram page and you pick the Fight of the Night winner. It's for C4. Let's go.
Thank you so much, Barack. Yes, head over to the Overtime Boxing IG page. Vote for the C4 Fight of the Night here tonight. Maybe it'll be this one coming up next, the 4-round light heavyweight battle between the son of a legend, Gerald McClellan Jr., and K-Champ, Casey Dixon.
Giving boxing exactly what he needs. The best be the best. Estrada's a huge star, risking it all. We talk about pound for pound great fighters, Bam Rodriguez.
Once we're in that ring, there's no respect.
This kid is super special.
From here on out, it's just big fight after big fight. I can't wait to put on the show.
A Fight of the Year contender written all over it.
Hawaiian punch, get it?
As we take a look at the tail of the tape for our next contest, we're sticking in the light heavyweight division. K-Champ Casey Dixon taking on the son of a legend, the son of Gerald McClellan Jr. You see the measurables. McClellan Jr. with a big height and reach advantage in this one. But you see the age, 34 years of age. Gerald McClellan Jr. getting a late start in the sport. Both of these men with absolutely fascinating backstories. Let's take a closer look at both men.
Casey Dixon, and I'm repping East Atlanta. I fight for me. I fight for survival. I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling awesome. Super confident.
Gerald McClellan Jr., SOG, that stands for Son of Gerald, Freeport, Illinois. I'm fighting for my family, the legacy. I'm feeling very good, very comfortable. It ain't no pressure. I actually like pressure. I perform well under pressure.
My opponent is a decent fighter, but that's not enough. Can't just be decent. I'm coming in to hurt. I see blood.
Know a little bit about my opponent, but what I can say, he ain't never faced nobody as tough as me, that got as much grit as me. He ain't just never faced a wolf.
He ain't been through what I've been through. Can't even walk a mile in my shoes.
I really could do it all. I'm aggressive, I hunt, I walk my opponent down.
Of course I want to knock his out, but we gotta go to war. I'm front line. I ain't begging out for no man.
It's not personal, you know, I gotta go in there and step on him.
Our next contest, in the light heavyweight division, entering the arena, Gerald McClellan Jr.
So Gerald McClellan Jr. makes his way to the ring for his first appearance here on Overtime Boxing. As we've referenced, he is indeed the son of Gerald McClellan Sr., one of the very best punchers, maybe in the history of boxing. But of course, McClellan Sr. suffered a traumatic brain injury in his final fight in 1995 when he faced Nigel Benn. Little Gerald was just 6 or 7 years old at the time and basically had his father taken away from him. McClellan to this day is taken care of by Gerald Jr.'s Aunt Lisa. And McClellan spent 7 years in prison, but after getting out, decided it was his duty to carry on the family legacy and to make something of his life. And thus far, at 6-1, McClellan Jr. has been carrying the torch for the McClellan family.
Listen, big shoes to fill, and Gerald McClellan being a legend. I mean, we all saw the vicious knockout over Julian Jackson. He beat so many great fighters, so a tough act to follow, but he's carrying it with pride.
And you know, every son of a legend doesn't really want to fill the shoes. They want to make their own mark. And after all the obstacles that he's actually overcome, he's already a winner to me, you know, just stepping in the ring after 7.5 years being in prison.
Oh, exactly. And to put that into perspective, McClellan's told the story before of being in prison, and he would watch Friday night fights on ESPN. He would watch PBC, and the people around him would point up to the screen and say, hey, gee, you should be on that screen. Look where he is here tonight. He finally gets that opportunity.
Amen. Beautifully said.
His opponent, Casey Dixon.
Inspirational backstories. Casey Dixon, a man who was shot 6 times, a man who spent 3 years in prison, and during that time would use the mat in his cell, roll it up, and create a makeshift punching bag so that he could train, waiting for the opportunity to be on the outside and have a professional boxing career. Now he's 4-0, and at 26 years of age, has a potentially bright career ahead of him.
Another redemption story that I love, you know, and I'm wondering if he can, like, call on that Bernard Hopkins spirit and pull it off tonight.
Dixon, a native of Ellenwood, Georgia, but he spent a lot of time in the DMV, particularly at the Headbangers Gym, learning from Barry Hunter, a man who he said became somewhat of a father figure to him as well. So you can imagine the kind of work that he was getting in that gym from old vets like DeMont Nicholson, showing him the ropes early in his career.
And I think that's the difference here. These guys both spent time in prison, but one went to a reputable camp.
We continue with the action here on professional boxing's newest proving ground, the OTE Arena, Atlanta, Georgia. This is OTX Friday Night Fights, powered by C4 Energy, energy that hits. Find it at any local GNC. This contest, 4 rounds or less in the light heavyweight division. Scoring the action, we have Ed Canner, along with Nola Oliver and Pat Cronin. Presenting first, in the blue corner, tonight, he brings heart, grit, and an iron chin into the ring, as well as a championship bloodline. The son of a boxing Hall of Famer looking to create his own legacy in the sport. With a record of 6 victories against 1 defeat, 4 of his victories coming by way of knockout. From Milwaukee, Wisconsin, with the KO in his DNA, Gerald S.O.G. McClellan Jr. Across the ring in the red corner, started from the bottom now. He enters the ring an undefeated professional with 4 victories. All 4 victories coming by way of knockout tonight. in his OTX debut, he puts East Atlanta, Georgia on his back. Ladies and gentlemen, Casey K-Champ Dixon. With last words and final instructions, referee Nate Mann.
All right, gentlemen, went over the rules in the dressing room. Make sure we have a clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. If I say break, put your hands up, take 2 steps back. Is there anything you want to say to each other before the fight starts? All right, back up. Let's get ready to fight.
We are ready to go with our second contest of the evening. Casey Dixon, Gerald McClellan Jr., 2 men with punchers' mindsets. Perhaps hunting for that first round KO bonus. Round 1. This one's scheduled for 4. You see Casey Dixon in the red trunks, Gerald McClellan Jr. in the black trunks trimmed with silver.
Nice trunks, long tassels. I have to say right off the rip, I like his fighting fit.
Oh, Casey Dixon. They both got tassels. He got long ones. That's pretty cool. But I like his jab.
Nice counter right hand over the top there from Casey Dixon, but McClellan comes right back with the left hook.
He gives him the nod as if you got that.
Both these men have been active this year. Casey Dixon scoring a first-round knockout over Clarence Brown in March of this year. McClellan Jr. with a knockout win in the first round over Kendall Prather in January of this year. And both these men have been very active in the Team Combat League as well.
As I see the trunk saying SOG, I can't help initially to say that's Andre Ward's nickname, but once he explained it in his words, I'm okay with it.
Son of Gerald.
That's right.
A legend. Not like God, but a legend. They just both filling each other out. You know, no one's really connected with anything significant yet, but that was a nice jab to the body by Gerald.
Establish anything significant yet. Dixon had a couple of good counter rights over Gerald's jab.
This jab to the body there from Dixon. A very different look for both fighters. And as fighters tend to early in their careers, these guys have mostly been facing fighters with losing records. The combined record of Dixon's opponents, 570-1. And McClellan Jr.'s, the combined record of his opponents, 1872-8. So really the first real step up for both men. And a step back from McClellan Jr. as he gets rocked by a right hand.
It was a left hand that hurt him at first.
I think it was a counter right hand.
No, it was definitely a left hook. Definitely a left hook, shook him, and then he got hit.
Well, the right hand behind the ear certainly didn't help. I think that was the shot that sent him to the canvas.
Yes, sir.
With 45 seconds remaining in the round, a big chance here for Casey Dixon as he unloads once more.
Gerald wants to get his lick back to show that he's not hurt, but he's putting himself in danger by doing it.
He's doing a good acting job, like, you know, I'm okay. He really don't have his legs all the way back yet.
No, and you see how he's dropping his hands as he steps back a little bit. His defense he's open for that right hand.
Yeah, and right now he's not even worried about defense right now. He's just standing straight up, chin in the air, saying, I'm gonna try and knock this guy out because I'm hurt.
Right.
And McClellan trying to fire to the body. Willing to go down swinging if indeed he's gonna go down, and he just landed a nice right hand just seconds before the bell.
Dixon is looping that right hand. If he throws it down the pipe, it'll get there a lot quicker.
Too far away from him. Step to him, all right? And he's trying to do the counter right hand. So don't throw the right hand, I'm going to throw the 3 a lot. All right? He's coming every time. That's how I fight. So step to him a little closer, though, okay? You heard me? Make it look good. Step close, you're too far away from him. All right? Okay. You're too far away. Touch you. Step to him. Get closer. Trust yourself, brother. Step closer and don't load up on it. It's coming to you, okay? Step closer to him. The right hand will be there for you all day, all right? Just step closer. And roll. All right? Go around. Step closer, though. All right? Get behind the stick. All right? You got him, but just step closer. Step closer. With just a jab. All right.
Casey Dixon, understandably brimming with confidence in the corner. You heard him tell his coach, Mustafa Meekins, I've got him, I've got him. Meekins telling Dixon, hey, throw that left hook a little bit more. You hear him calling for the three. He called for the three. Step to McClellan Jr. and get a little bit closer.
A lot of possum playing there. Dixon wants to really land that jab and let the other shots come back.
Mentioned both these men have punchers' mindsets, and look at the way that they're operating in the ring, guys. I mean, these are guys who do not look like they have a plan other than scoring a knockout here tonight.
As you can see, they're both standing in the middle of the ring. Nobody's backing up so far in this fight at all, which usually is a recipe for a good fight.
Two-punch combination there from McClellan.
Better round so far from McClellan.
McClellan's standing square, you know, so he's a bigger target. And you see how Dixon is, you know, in a proper stance, sideways.
I mean, you can tell he has more experience, boxing experiences, a little bit more polished than that.
Yeah, sometimes you got those Mayogas that'll get you out of there.
Yeah, the problem that Gerald is kind of great is in that pocket when he's trying to exchange with those combinations. He's putting his chin straight up in the air. Something comes with experience and time. So many hours spent in the gym. He started late, so we have to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, 100% on K-Champ. He hasn't stopped smiling since this round started because he feels like he got this in the bag now. He understands that this guy might not be on his level, McClellan, and he's going to take his time.
Nothing does that more than a knockdown, so
early knockdown. Yes, sir.
See Dixon following Mustafa Meekins' advice, stepping to McClellan, getting a little bit closer. You see him just trying to parry that lead hand down. And in doing so, he's created a lane for that uppercut that he landed there just one moment ago.
Good call, good call. Oh,
good reply there from McClellan.
McClellan just got an uppercut in there.
Back comes Dixon with the very same shot. And McClellan's been very honest in the past. He said, listen, I'm not a defensive savant. I'll take big shots, but my goal is to land big shots of my own.
Well, he said in the fighters meeting that he has a impeccable chin, you know, and that's cool. Carl Frott said that. A lot of fighters say that, but that's not the best defense, having a great chin, because that chin can get knocked out by a certain fighter.
Yeah, you don't always want to test that hypothesis.
Well, Dixon tested it already and was able to hurt it.
Well, McClellan just landed a nice right on Dixon's chin.
But I say Gerald definitely has had a better round in the second round. Maybe enough to win the round.
And I think it's because Dixon kind of took his foot off the gas. He's kind of playing with him right now.
Good bounce back
he's
round.
He's going to get it now from his corner, from his right.
Good bounce back round there for McClellan Jr. We're inviting cheese, meat, and sauce lovers everywhere to take a flavor quest. Introducing the new $3 foot-long dippers, coming in flavors like double cheese, pepperoni and cheese, and chicken and cheese. 11 beloved sauces and 33 cheesy, snackable choices. Find your dip with the new foot-long dippers, the sauciest new snacks at Subway.
Let's do this. Let's get this weed. Come on. Hey, you wasn't strong. You took his best punch. Best punch. All right? Huh? You took his best punch. Yeah. Oh, boy.
A lot more confidence, understandably, in the corner of Gerald McClellan Jr. And we talked about the puncher's mindset that both these guys have. When it comes to McClellan Jr., forget about the genetics, obviously having the G-Man as your dad. He also spent many years training with Julian Jackson, who had that same kind of mentality inside the ring, willing to get knocked out, but more often than not, he was the one doing the knocking out.
And if Julian Jackson co-signs your power, then you have power.
Indeed. And interesting, as his father was the one that knocked Julian Jackson out when he was on a winning streak.
He's a humble heart, Julian Jackson. But Coach Ron, who is McClellan's trainer, he feels like, hey, you just took his hardest punch, giving him confidence, go back in there and finish the job.
And if I'm not mistaken, he fought Julian Jackson as well.
He did.
Exchange there on the inside. McClellan getting the best of that one again. It was the left hook that ended that exchange. You mentioned both of these guys being active in the Team Combat League. Not only have they been active, they've been scoring pretty impressive wins. Now, albeit this is on a one-round basis. The TCL has fought it a round at a time, essentially. But Casey Dixon has wins over Ronald Ellis and Peter Dobson, who recently fought Connor Benn. Gerald McClellan Jr. most recently beat Cleotis Pendarvis, who you might remember as well. So these guys, at least in a single-round capacity, have been very impressive in the TCL.
What you can say with that is that, yes, it's only a single round, but both fighters are giving their all in that round because they know that's all they have. So if you get that win, it's a win.
Yeah. In this case, you have to pace yourself a little bit more and do it for 4 rounds, which I think for the most part, both guys are.
Right. I think what Casey did by taking his foot off the gas is he made McClellan more confident. Indeed. And you don't want the hurt fighter, the guy who got hurt in the first round, confident.
Because right now, he's doing well. He's landing that jab. He's even throwing a little round right to the body. And I'm not seeing Dixon, like, to your point, Barack, really put his foot on the gas yet. You know he can hurt, well, Gerald.
I saw him breathing hard, you know, in between the rounds, and maybe that's it. I don't know. I don't know if I don't think it's the power of McClellan, even though he feels that he has a lot of power.
Very little movement from Dixon or McClellan here. They're basically just using hand feints and head movement from time to time to try and create openings.
Also, these guys want to, it seems like he wants to reserve some of that energy. Maybe Barack mentioned condition might be a problem because he doesn't want to exert too much energy, staying in the middle of the ring, which is good, as long as he's not getting hit like that.
A nice little right hand there from McClellan Jr., but back comes Casey Dixon, and we will head to the 4th and final round.
When I step out from that final round, I think about all the hard work that I put in, all the sleepless nights, early mornings, all the sacrifices I took to be here. It's cold in here, so we're gonna go to war.
In that final round, I hear all of my kids' voices, and they telling me to keep going, saying SOG, SOG, SOG. I hear my father's voice, I hear my mother's voice, I hear the voice of everybody who counts.
Come on, we need it, baby.
So the 4th and final round, which once again is the money round, a cash incentive, a bonus cash incentive for either one of these fighters. If they can score a knockout here, we'll see if maybe Casey Dixon can uncork a left hook like the one he said he taught Meek Mill how to throw.
I think Meek needs a few more sessions, but he doesn't throw it that well.
I think he needs a lifetime of sessions, but I think K-Champ is doing exactly what Mustafa told him to do. His trainer is, we need you to go all out in this one. I think it was like a conditioning issue.
Listen, in order for him to solidify this victory, he definitely needs to win this round big, because those last 2 rounds are very close. They could have went the other way.
Yes, absolutely.
Dixon with that knockdown in his pocket from round 1, so McClellan is in all likelihood in need of this round. So for McClellan, there has to be a little bit of desperation here, but you see Casey Dixon clearly the one who's stepping on the pedal right now.
Yeah, but I just don't think neither one of them really have the energy to do too much, only in spurts, and that's what they're showing right now. So they're buying time with these jabs, and then they go and haymaker.
This is the last round, so this is the opportunity for him to solidify this victory, because I think it's up in the air.
McClellan just switched to southpaw. I like to see what happens now. Dixon is smiling. Yeah, okay, now you're ready for my straight right.
think he needs to set some traps, knowing that he can hurt him. Maybe some feints, and then throw that looping right that landed earlier. But he's getting hit in the mix.
Is it too early to say respect to McClellan?
No, I would say it now, absolutely.
Respect to him for doing this well.
Good combination there from McClellan, the 2-1. Finishing that combination off with the jab.
Doing more than well. He's won rounds in this fight. He was hit early.
Nice exchange there on the inside. Closing in on the final 45 seconds of this contest as they trade right hands.
Dixon is trying to get him moving with that right hand. It's just not having the same effect as the first round.
I would say condition is probably playing a part, because you can tell Dixon is a skilled boxer and has the ability, but maybe not the energy right now to do what he wants to do in there.
He's going to kick himself in the butt tomorrow morning, knowing that probably a little bit more condition.
McClellan just missed with a home run right hand there a second ago. It just whizzed past the chin of Casey Dixon. As the seconds tick away in this contest, this one will be very interesting on the scorecards. And a reminder, we do have the potential of an overtime round. Let's see what these cards look like.
We might get that. We might get an overtime round. They were swinging for the fences that last round.
All right, let's take a look at what the fans at home are thinking of this one as we pull up our YouTube chat poll right now. You see 58% of the viewers at home thinking Casey Dixon managed to pull this one out, 42% in the corner of Gerald McClellan.
Well, that's how the fight actually went. It was close. It was definitely close. So we might just... Oh, they're taking gloves off. They're taking gloves off over here. So we're gonna get a decision.
So the context cues suggesting that we will not have an overtime round here, and I guess mathematically that would be tricky too with the knockdown in the opening round. We'll see how these scorecards read, but however it is that they look, you do have to hand it to Gerald McClellan Jr. for bouncing back the way he did.
Absolutely, because that knockdown looked bad.
Ladies and gentlemen, after going all 4 rounds inside the OTX ring, we consult the official scorecard to determine a winner. Judges Oliver and Cronin turn in identical scores of 39-36, and Judge Canner scores it 38-37. All in favor of the winner by way of unanimous decision. Still undefeated from the streets of East Atlanta, K-Champ, Casey Dixon.
So a mixed reaction here in Atlanta, even with the beloved character from East Atlanta. There's some people here in the audience that were clearly rooting for Gerald McClellan Jr., but you heard the scores, 39-36 twice, and then 38-37.
I think overall K-Champ won the battle. If you think about it, he really won. The knockdown is what did it.
Yes,
you know, the knockdown is basically what did it. I mean, it wasn't really a knockdown, though. That's right. They didn't score the knockdown. Now that I remember it wasn't scored a knockdown, was it?
It was scored a knockdown,
oh,
but yeah.
Well, there you go.
You're thinking of the Dante Lane knockdown.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking, the push, the head push. So that's what did it. So, yeah, it might have been 2 rounds because the crowd is saying, all right, we saw him come back. We saw McClellan come back, so we like him.
Well, let's see what K-Champ thinks as he is standing by with Ak.
Thanks, guys. First off, congratulations on the win. You were able to hurt Gerald early in the fight. You landed a couple of big shots, left hooks, looping right hand. And it seemed the last 2 rounds, either you took them off or maybe you gassed out a little bit because you took your foot off the gas. Is that the case?
Right. First, I want to thank OTX. I want to thank all, everybody, my supporters, my family. Thank y'all, I want to thank God first. But yeah, I laid out a couple rounds because ain't no excuses. I hurt my hand. These gloves hurt my hand, but ain't no excuses. I worked through it. Got the win. I want to thank my opponent. He was a tough, hard opponent. I want to thank him for being a dog, but.
What hand did you hurt?
I hurt my this hand right here.
The left hand, so you couldn't throw it as much?
Throw it as much as I could, because, you know, ain't no excuses. I worked through it, I got through it, and got the win.
Listen, Gerald McClellan Jr., son of a legend, is it safe to say he's the toughest opponent you've been in with so far?
For sure. Like, he's tough, smart, you know. He made me think as well. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't overlook him at first, though. I never thought he was a get over, so I train hard.
Does he have power? Does he hit hard? He claimed he had power.
It's there, but it didn't hurt. It didn't faze me, as you can tell. He hit me with a couple shots, but it was good.
All right, how soon do you want to be back in the ring?
ASAP, immediately. I want to stay sharp, stay in the gym, and keep working.
Congratulations. Good win. Guys.
Thank you so much, Ox. So the feel-good story of Casey Dixon continues. A man who dreamt of this moment when he was punching his mat in his prison cell, just hoping for this opportunity one day. And again, setting everything aside, setting what you think of Dixon and his talent level as a fighter aside, this is a human being who is winning at life right now.
Beautiful story. A win is a win, but you got to go back to the drawing boards, because shots like that right hand shouldn't have probably happened. He kind of gassed out. I guess he said he had a little injury. I believe he told Ott, but he was still out of breath during the interview. So it just goes to show, get back in that gym and sharpen up.
We take a look at the CompuBox punch stats, and you see Gerald McClellan Jr. out-throwing and outlanding Casey Dixon in this one. According to CompuBox, you see Dixon just a little bit more accurate, but again, boxing scored on a round-by-round basis, and of course that knockdown in the opening round indisputably is a 10-8 round. So Casey Dixon improves to 5-0 in his pro career. But guys, we see that's one hell of a fit right there. And speaking of which, I think you've got a new segment for us, do you not?
Oh, absolutely. Drip check. And you're lucky you're not on it, because I like your outfit.
Well, he would be lucky if he's on it, because we'll give him a great rating.
Check out Tiara Brown's fit, guys.
Listen,
oh, the classic, classic overtime sweatsuit right there. You can't go wrong with that.
You cannot go wrong with overtime. Green is my favorite.
You've been begging for one for a long time.
Of course, I haven't got it yet.
There we go.
I mean, look at this. Money green, which is my favorite color.
Yes.
I like the kind of a baggy, oversized fit, but not too crazy. Look, I'm going to go on a limb and say, this is the fire fit. Oh, I love the Oakley glasses. I think the Oakley glasses. The glasses took it over to the top, and I like the socks with the flip-flops. All the way trendy, dope fit, fire. Oh, next on a drip fit. The drip check right here. Look, you know I'm into leather pants, Barack.
I mean, I think I should have worn that today with my leather shirt.
Oh, he has the Solomon's on.
Oh,
great
man.
hiking shoe. And look, the cut sleeves are in for the summer.
No, but you don't have muscle, so it's not in for you. I love this fit on him. And I like that it's not even matching. The shoes ain't matching the fit.
No,
that makes it fly hat backwards. Man, I knew he was going to kill it anyway.
I mean,
that's
this
fire.
is what he does. I mean, fashion is his thing. So all the way up to the top of the bar right here with the fire fit for Lorenzo Truck.
100%. Good job.
Drip check complete. And Tiara Brown is going to take that walk right into our next contest, because coming up, we have a world title eliminator, a WBC featherweight title eliminator, as the Dark Menace Tiara Brown takes on Gabriella Bouvier. The winner gets a world title shot.
The Zone is the home of boxing, with over 150 live fights a year. And you can relive history by watching the biggest fights at any time. Just head to DAZN.com and go to previous events to catch up on all the action from the biggest nights in boxing.
He's in trouble! The big fella! Garcia is having the fight of his life on the biggest stage possible!
This summer, experience the next frontier in footlong snacking. Introducing new $3 footlong dippers. Chicken and cheese, pepperoni and cheese, and double cheese. All with your choice of dipping sauce. The world might not be ready for them.
But at $3 a pop, your wallet definitely is. Find the dip that hits at Subway today.
A tremendous looking tournament full of guys looking for an opportunity.
You're going to fight the best, and that's it. Nobody can dodge anybody.
The cannon detonates.
This is the best division in boxing.
If that's the kind of fight you can expect from this tournament, you do not want to miss any of these fights. Like Katsu Rocket, that's a right hand. Catch the semifinals of the OTX Super Welterweight 154-pound tournament this August at OTX 10. Well, the winner of that OTX tournament is hoping for a world title shot. The winner of this next contest, they're all but assured one. A WBC featherweight title eliminator between Tiara Brown and Gabriella Bouvier as we take a look at the tail of the tape. You see the measurables very much in favor of Tiara Brown, a height and reach advantage, but Tiara Brown at 35 years of age, finally getting the big opportunities that Gabriella Bouvier has had plenty of in her career as a former world champion. Let's take a closer look at both fighters.
Many fighters stay away from me. I have no chill.
Me llamo Gabriela Bouvier y soy de Uruguay.
My name is Tiara Brown and I'm from Fort Myers, Florida.
Bueno, mi meta es ser campeona mundial nuevamente y bueno, creo que uno de los pasos que tengo que dar ahora es la pelea del...
Most people, you know, they want to go to the movies, they want to chill, they want to hang out. I don't want to do any of that. What I want to do is hit the bag. I want to bust noses. I want to win. I want to bring success to my city. It's my time now.
Y ella me tiene que tener un poco de respeto, pienso yo, porque tengo muchas peleas fuertes y con buenas boxeadoras. Que vamos a llegar al final y al final van a levantar la mano a mí.
I hope her coach has a first aid kit. I don't take breaks.
Espero que estés preparada porque yo vine preparada para ganarte y bueno, que sea una pelea linda para las dos. Pero el triunfo me lo voy a llevar a Uruguay.
Gabriella, I pray to God you train hard because if not, this is going to be the worst day of your life.
Making her walk to the ring, Gabriella Bouvier.
Well, the tale of La Gabriella Bouvier has been one of perseverance, both inside the ring and outside of it. As a human being, she's overcome drug addiction and mental health challenges. Inside the ring, it's the same kind of story. Gabriella Bouvier won a world title in her 4th attempt after getting stopped in her first 2 attempts at a world title, finally winning the IBF flyweight title by beating Florencia Canteros back in 2013. And now, almost 10 years later, guys, Bouvier is still a relevant fighter, now fighting up at featherweight and is 1 win away from another opportunity at a world title. Simply unbelievable.
This is why we can't give up on her, because she's been in this exact same position before, when everybody expected her to lose and she became a champ.
Not only that, lose that life. You know, she was on drugs. She admit that, you know, boxing saved her life. So this woman has been through it all. Like, this right here is nothing.
Her rival, Tiara Brown.
Biggest night in the pro career of the Dark Menace. Tiara Brown, who has been a highly rated contender and highly regarded fighter for quite some time and has kind of been treading water as some of her amateur contemporaries, names like Michaela Mayer and Claressa Shields, have gone on to win world titles. Brown, who's ranked number 3 at super featherweight by the WBO, number 3 by the WBC, number 5 by the IBF, and number 12 by the WBO, finally gets an opportunity for a title eliminator and to place herself in a world title opportunity.
Very, very long overdue. She's just going to have to show out tonight. Hey, listen, it's better late than never, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, boxing for women right now, it's lit, as they say, and I do feel bad for her not getting opportunity. But right now is her moment. Right now, no need to complain about the past. Show the world what you're all about, and tonight is the night.
16-0, 11 of those wins have come by way of knockout, perhaps one of the best pure punchers in women's boxing today.
We continue with the action on professional boxing's newest proving ground. OTE Arena, Atlanta, Georgia. This is OTX Friday Night Fights, powered by C4 Energy, energy that hits. Find it at any local GNC. This contest, 10 rounds. A WBC Featherweight World Title Eliminator. World Boxing Council President Mauricio Suleiman, Supervisor Frank Garza. Our judges scoring at ringside, we have Ed Kenner, along with Pat Cronin and Nola Oliver. Presenting first, the fighter standing in the blue corner. She enters the ring looking to continue her 4-fight winning streak and to prove to her opponent that there are levels to this sport. Tonight, she makes her OTX and US debut with a record of 19 victories against 12 losses, 1 bout even. 4 of those victories coming by way of KO. The former IBF Flyweight World Champion from Maldonado, Uruguay, Gabriela La Gabi Bouvier. In the red corner, tonight, she goes from patrolling the streets as a certified law enforcement officer to one of the most feared, most avoided fighters in her division tonight. Also making her OTX debut and putting her undefeated 16-0, 11 KO record on the line. She begins her quest to become the first fighter under the OTX banner to capture a world title. From Fort Myers, Florida, Tiara, the Dark Menace Brown. With last words and final instructions, referee Cornelius Stevenson.
All right, ladies, you receive your instructions in the back room. Your trunks are good here. Your trunks are good here. Obey my command at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Touch them up. See you at the bell.
Here we go, 10 rounds in the featherweight division, this being a WBC featherweight title eliminator. The winner of this one perhaps taking aim at Sky Nicholson. Amanda Serrano also has titles in this division. Massive opportunities awaiting the winner of this contest. Will Tiara Brown have her breakthrough moment, or can Gabriela Bouvier upset the odds once again? Round 1, scheduled for 10.
Either way, I think there's going to be a lot of belts available at 126. You know, Amanda Serrano moving up to 140 pounds to fight Katie Taylor.
Now, I was debating earlier today if this is Brown's toughest test to date. She's been in there with some decent opponents, but this might be...
No, by far.
Her toughest test today.
By far. and she might make it look easy, I don't know, but on paper, this is her toughest.
Yeah, and again, Bouvier's best days were as a flyweight, where she won a world title, but again, she's remained relevant all the way up to these higher weight classes as well.
Right. I mean, she's that rugged type of opponent that's going to make every fight tough. She's going to make the promoters want to call her back. She brings excitement.
I think I just think Brown feels like a lot of these young champions of today feel that, you know, Gabriella's from that era of women's boxing that not as skillful of the women today.
Yeah,
That's how she feels.
That's fine in terms of skill level and being slick, but she's a credible opponent and is going to bring a fight to you. Sometimes that's even harder than a skilled fighter that's not tough.
I disagree with that.
Stiff jab there from Tiara Brown. A couple of left hooks to the body have connected for her thus far, and then a right hand right along the belt line as well. Nice right hand right down the middle there from Tiara Brown. As we take a look at the vibe cam, which is the viewpoint from the referee here tonight. You're seeing what the ref is seeing.
The ref is a good cameraman. I like it so far.
Much combination there from Tiara Brown, finishing everything with the jab. And now just using that free hand to wail away on Gabriella Bouvier as round one comes to a close. We're inviting cheese, meat, and sauce lovers everywhere to take a flavor quest. Introducing the new $3 footlong dippers, coming in flavors like double cheese, pepperoni and cheese, and chicken and cheese. 11 beloved sauces and 33 cheesy, saucy, snackable choices. Find your dip with the new footlong dippers, the sauciest new snacks at Subway.
If they were open when we left here.
Left elbow, one right elbow. Her guard is mad high. You go around the side and finish your top. All right?
Good. One thing about Brown, she looks so conditioned. Not even breathing in the corner.
She says she goes to the gym every day, even on Christmas.
She did say that.
But what I want to see is I want to see her, Brown, that is, sit down on her punches a little bit more, you know? Get some respect from Gabriella.
Round two underway. Well, to your point, Barack, you know, we saw Tiara Brown finding the target with ease in round one, so we'll see if indeed Tiara Brown could put a little more oomph on those shots starting here in round two.
I'll tell you what, Tiara is so comfortable and polished and skilled in there. It shocks me that she's not further in the sport in terms of accolades. She definitely deserved all the shots that she's been asking for.
And we mentioned Sky Nicholson kind of being the cloud hanging over top of this fight. Gabriella Bouvier has been in the ring with Sky Nicholson. She got shut out in that fight. Then she lost an absolute war to Benita Fernandez. But again, talking about these bounce-back moments for her, then she picks up a nice win over Carolina Dwyer and wins a silver title. So Bouvier has just, throughout her career, refused to pack it in.
See, and I love how Brown is digging to the body as well, upstairs, downstairs, in the pocket, catching and shooting, really comfortable in there, like a seasoned fighter she is.
Gabriella's a tough girl, but how many years can you take shots like this?
And how many of those left hooks to the body can she absorb? Because she's not blocking any of those right now.
And you know, that's a great game plan to slow a girl like Gabrielle down.
I did say I wanted Brown to sit down on the punches, and I think that's what she's doing.
She heard you, Barack.
Good body by Brown.
And, you know, the way Gabrielle, she's tough, but the way she's throwing the punches, they're all arm punches as she's moving behind. No steam on those punches, so right. Tiara's not respecting that right now at all.
Well, Brown loving this cadence right now. This is just catch and shoot over and over again. Just casually picking these shots off and just unloading with left hooks that cannot miss right now.
In that whole barrage, Gabrielle scraped one punch in, but other than that, all missed. Great defense by Tiara Brown.
You fighting her kind of fight. You're standing right there in front of her. Some of their footwork's out. Step around when you finish. So when you finish, step around. All you gotta do is step around, go to the body, finish to the head. Go to the head, finish to the body. Show her their footwork this round. You see the face work, you won that round big. And you giving her a chance by standing right there. So you finish it. Use the footwork. Show it's another level to this.
Somebody gotta get down. Change speeds a little bit with your punches. Change speeds a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Everything is coming one shot. Take it up every now and then. And then go back to the regular speed. Good.
footwork, champ. Come on.
It'll be interesting to see how Tiara Brown comes out in this round. You heard the edict from her corner. They want her to use a little bit more footwork, show a different look in this round, but maybe we'll have some conflicting ideologies here because Tiara Brown dominated that round as well, just doing what she was doing.
Right, just footwork, giving her angles to position herself better to land harder shots. That's all. Oh, good defense. And she smiled. First time. She doesn't really smile that much.
Not at all. Like a sponsorship trunks there. A lot of patches on those trunks. You know I love to point that out.
Yeah, you could have got your name on it.
I can't afford it.
Brown doubling, tripling up on that jab. Now getting back to the inside where she was so thoroughly dominant in the first and second round. That second round in particular looked like fairly easy work for Tiara Brown, just catching and shooting over and over again, landing that left hook to the body.
There it is right there.
Very
footwork by Brown.
Very comfortable.
Just giving her angles, making her miss shots.
Look, Gabrielle is trying, and she landed a couple left hooks to the body, but again, not sitting down on those shots, no mustard on those punches.
All right, the only thing that does is score, but if you're not the one that's throwing more punches, then you're not winning the round.
Good 1-2 there from Tiara Brown. You see what the referee is seeing right now.
At this point, Tiara has no worries, you know, with Gabrielle's shots coming her way. She's walking her down in the pocket.
I think Brown is turning up a little bit more.
She wants to get that knockout bonus.
Brown just bullying Bouvier against the ropes right now, trying to create some space for that uppercut through the middle. She found one to the body.
Remember, guys, this is a 10-round fight, so Brown has another 7 rounds to try to get her out of there.
Ella ahora está incómoda, ¿viste? Ahora se puso incómoda en esa. Step to the right. Up, down, up. Off the face. Down. Vamos. ¿Se agarraste la mano? Vamos arriba. ¿Cómo metió eso? No me da la velocidad. Está, obvio, pero vamos arriba. Vamos a buscar la vuelta. Ella comió una cuanta mano ahora, ¿eh? Tiene un poco de agua en la cabeza.
The crowd coming alive here in the OTE arena, that party atmosphere that we're used to. As round 4 now begins, Tiara Brown and Gabriella Bouvier here in this WBC featherweight title eliminator. Listening to Bouvier's corner in between rounds. They look to correct the course here as Bouvier just gets ripped by a left hook there by Tiara Brown, who's unloading here on the inside.
So far shutout in the first 3 rounds. Tiara Brown cruising, aggressive.
All right, let's send it over to Barack, who is in the red corner right now. Barack, what do you have for us?
Here we go.
Are you happy with Tiara's performance so far?
Oh, yeah, she's looking great in there.
You wanted to step it up and maybe sit down on her punches or what?
Oh, I just don't want her to let her hit on the arms or nothing. I want her to miss so she can get her on out of there.
She's showing good defense. What do you think? That's what I think.
Oh, yeah, it's great defense, but it could be better. Tiara is on a whole nother level than this girl.
All right, so you think she's going to be able to get her out of here? Because you see her punches taking any effect.
Oh, yeah, she's going to stop this girl in a minute.
Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so...
Off the feint, champ. Make her pay for that. Off the feint. Stab.
What did you mean by footwork? Footwork to stay away from her shots or to set up better shots?
After she finished the punch, the girl only can fight her back if she's standing there. So as soon as she finishes the punch, you step over, it reset the girl all the way, you know. There we go, good job. You see how she's throwing the punches right back up.
Absolutely.
Pounding up, champ. There we go. Bring it on.
Did she say anything about Gabriella having any power?
Nah, she said she ain't got no power.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much, Brock. Fascinating just hearing the thoughts of the Tiara Brown corner in real time.
Watching the fight, understanding what's going on, tell me what you see.
All right, let's take a look back at some of the highlights from the previous round. Ak, what are you seeing here, man?
Look, she's so comfortable in there. It doesn't matter what Gabrielle is throwing. She's able to catch and counter. I mean, that's a good place to be in as a fighter where you're not being hurt and you're able to do whatever you want. I mean, this is ideal for a fighter. Does she have enough power to get her out of there? Remains to be seen, but she has a few rounds to do it.
Predicted 7, y'all. Keep predicted 7. We shall see.
Well, you heard the corner of Tiara Brown. Barack, you were in there. They seem dead confident that Brown is going to score a stoppage in this fight.
And she was very dominant last round. You know, I just don't see Gabriella getting hurt. She maybe have that defeated look, but she's not getting hurt, I don't think. Not yet. Brown is definitely having a way with her, yes, 100%. And I think if any shots were really hurting her, it's those body shots.
Yeah, and again, like if the intention is to score a knockout, you can see what the Brown corner is thinking by creating a little bit more space, some more angles. Maybe you catch Bouvier with a shot that she doesn't see. But at the same time, you know, maybe just being there on the inside, hitting her to the body again and again. You have 10 rounds to work with. Maybe you start breaking her down.
Yeah, but to be fair, guys, in Gabrielle's defense, I mean, she hasn't hurt her out at all yet. She's still moving forward. So there's nothing that really is, you know, made her think twice about pressing Brown.
I think that's what Gabriella does her best work on the inside. Not to say that it's winning the fight, but that's when she's able to let her hands go more.
Well, and Bouvier making what Brown's corner is asking for, making it easier for Tiara to actually enact it, because now Bouvier is taking those steps forward. In the early rounds, she wanted to be on the inside, but she was moving backwards. Now, she's forcing Tiara Brown to work off the back foot, and she's doing so very well.
Great work by Brown in that corner. Look, she's doing whatever she wants in here.
Beautiful defense, avoiding shots and coming with the right uppercut.
I think that Gabrielle can take a good shot. She's shown that in the first few rounds. I think the body attack is probably going to be her best bet to slow her down if she's looking to stop and get that bonus money.
I think what Brown is doing right now is drawing her in. She wants her to push her back on the rope so she can catch herself.
And look, I can't say enough about Brown's condition. Amazing.
She hasn't breathed.
Since the first round.
Good. We can stop pulling together. You want to check. Good combinations. Good there. She waiting on you to finish so she can go. Come on.
I think I'm actually very close to obtaining my first goal as a professional fighter. I'm undefeated. Right now, I'm ranked number 3 in the world by the WBC. And this WBC Eliminator, once I win this, I can fight for the actual belt, the WBC belt, and I'll be number 1 in the world.
Tiara Brown on the hunt for her first world title opportunity again. Little unusual to think, considering how heralded Brown was coming out of the amateurs, what some of her amateur teammates have gone on to do. Tiara Brown now just a step away from getting the opportunity she's been hoping for so long. And guys, this fight has even greater significance for the company here as well. Tiara Brown is in a position to potentially become Overtime's first world champion. She's the closest to a title in all likelihood.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, we have the 154-pound tournament. Those guys still have a little long road to get there.
Elijah Pierce, highly ranked as well, but he's got a monster holding those titles.
Literally.
And he just missed the fight tonight, so that just makes it roll a little bit longer.
Great left hook.
But I think Brown went back to the corner, and they must have told her, listen, stop going backwards. You push her back now, because she doesn't fight as well going backwards.
Or they might have said, take it easy, because it's going to be hard for you to get a fight with this type of performance.
They definitely didn't say that. He wants her to stop.
Nice left hook to the body again from Brown, and those just keep coming. 1, 2, 3 more from Tiara Brown. Gabriella Bouvier willing to engage on the inside. She is not winning these exchanges, but guys, that's not stopping her from throwing her hands.
No, she's a rebel in there, for sure. But not winning a single round in this fight. And maybe if Tiara puts up a barrage of punches together, maybe the ref will start looking closer.
I mean, I think for the referee to start taking a close look at that, I mean, you've pointed out, we haven't seen Bouvier visibly hurt at any point. Once in a while, you'll see a stoppage just because a fight isn't competitive at all, but at this point, with a former world champion like Bouvier, who is highly respected, it would take a lot more.
Of course, and she's still active, throwing punches and moving forward, so.
Final 10 seconds here of round 6.
It's one-sided, but still you have a live dog in Gabrielle fighting back, to say the least.
How you feel? Take a deep breath.
Now let's take a look back at some of the action from the previous round. And this has been a highlight reel for Tiara Brown for the most part.
I mean, exactly. She more to add more to her YouTube reel. Here's a dominant performance. Slipping punches, catching punches, shooting, body upstairs. It doesn't get any better than this, Corey.
All right, well, let's send it over to Barack, who is standing by with Brian Norman.
That's right, I'm here with Brian Norman, WBO interim champ, or did you get elevated?
Not just yet. We're waiting for Crawford to fight in August, I believe.
Oh, okay. That's a tough order right there, man. Listen, but anybody stand out for you tonight?
My boy Casey Dixon, you know what I'm saying? That's my dog, you know what I'm saying? Straight out of Decatur with it.
That was a tough fight. That was a very tough fight, right?
Yeah, then the guy he fought was G-Man's son. And, you know, G-Man, one of my favorite fighters as well. So having that name under your belt is very big to me as well, as a personal thing.
Mine as well. All right, listen, you haven't fought in Atlanta in years. Feeling a little homesick as far as fighting here?
Yeah, big time, man. Top Rank need to go in and set something up, man. You know, I want to have a homecoming fight, hopefully State Farm Arena or something like that. But I definitely want to bring it back to GA.
All right, last question. Who's going to win the main event tonight, Simpson and Santana?
Got to go Simpson. I got to go Simpson.
I ain't mad at that. Brian Norman.
Thank you so much, Barack. One of Georgia's finest, Brian Norman. And we expect him to be elevated to a full world champion at some point. And Norman, a part of this development of boxing in Atlanta. Obviously, overtime boxing, a huge part of that. But so is the success of guys like Norman on the biggest stage.
Absolutely. I mean, he's the type of guy who's putting cities on his back, and a phenomenal fighter he is. So looking forward to seeing what's next for him.
Nice combination there from Tiara Brown a moment ago. A little bit of a hybrid uppercut, that 45 coming through the middle from Tiara Brown. Really tapping into her.
Coin that phrase 45.
Yeah, exactly, and we just run with it. Nice shot to the body again from Tiara Brown. Bouvier comes back with one of her own. Nice right hand from Bouvier a moment ago. Again, a willing participant in these exchanges, just not the winner of very many of them.
Yeah, I mean, at this pace, I see just a dominant performance, but I don't see any signs of Gabrielle slowing down and being hurt. I don't think this fight ends in stoppage, guys. Don't see any bonus money for this one, but a phenomenal performance by Brown so far.
Do what you want to do in there. What she say? That we regular, Jim? She said we regular. Yeah. Let's take it to the round level. Good round. Combination, y'all finish to the body and leave out of there.
You got 8 coming up.
8 coming up.
Yeah, 8 coming
combination,
up.
finish to the body. Step around. Keep stepping around. Keep turning. Make it look bad. She said we ready. She ready.
She ready to go, yo.
She ready
to go. You got
she said we regular, champ.
3 more rounds, all right?
Oh, my.
3 more rounds. Okay. How many more?
Dark cloud comes over her, and she's just a menace to whoever she's in the ring with, and she has indeed been one to Gabriella Bouvier here tonight as round 8 begins.
Well, respect to Gabby, you know, for hanging in there, for showing that she's still tough, even though she wasn't a champion for 10 years, you know.
Well, respect to Gabby just in general as well. Really, no fighter has been a better representative of boxing in Uruguay than her. No one's brought more fights of significance to that country than her. And that's not to say, that's not even to speak of the work that she's done outside of the ring. She built and runs an addiction center in her hometown in Uruguay. So this is a person doing wonderful work outside of the sport of boxing as well.
I'm sure she has a lot of people looking up to her right now, watching this fight, saying that she's a winner no matter what. I love the work that she's done.
Just being here alone is an inspiration to all of those folks out there.
Oh, absolutely. You know, she's been stopped 3 times, but you don't know the circumstances of those 3 fights. You know, so maybe just tonight might not be the night.
Yeah, and that last stoppage came back in 2012. The other 2 stoppages were at the hands of Barbie Juarez, one of the best women's fighters of all time, a future Hall of Famer, and that's a prime Barbie Juarez, a 2011 Barbie Juarez as well.
Who can punch?
Who can punch? Final 30 seconds of round 8.
I think at this point, Tiara has probably realized, okay, this girl's going to keep coming. I'm not going to be able to knock out. Let me cruise and win every single moment of every single round in this one.
Maybe so, but this is the thing. The problem is when you predict a knockout, you know, so now you have us talking about it. And then you got the money rounds, you know, but we got a dominant performance.
Right. Yeah, the story of this fight is more than just whether a knockout was scored or not. It's about Tiara Brown establishing herself as a true threat to the world title.
Still defensive-minded, you know, on the ropes, Brown, and I love that she literally did not get hit by any of those shots. Knockout or not, we're looking at Tiara Brown, who hasn't got her shot, and now that she has her shot, is shutting out a former champion.
2 to go in this feature contest, in this WBC featherweight title eliminator between Tiara Brown and Gabriella Bouvier. It has been a dominant performance from Tiara Brown to this point. A valiant effort from Gabriella Bouvier, but right now I think there's just a wide gap in terms of physicality and also in terms of skill at this point in Bouvier's career.
Absolutely, and she put her. It seems like she came out of that. Out of that corner with her foot on the gas, wanting to really get that stoppage.
I think maybe what you were saying last time, it may have been that, or she was just taking that round off to come out strong like this.
Very, very true. Very possible.
No, you're right. Very true. I know what I'm talking about.
Either way, guys, she's making a statement here tonight in being one of the best female fighters in this division, no question about it.
Exactly. In other words, after this fight, we know she's worthy for that title shot. Hopefully she gets
and technically, she should be, according to the WBC.
And equally as important, I mean, maybe not equally as important, but winning a title eliminator, obviously a big deal, but the exposure for Tiara Brown. We talked about her just being this name that's been lurking. People wondering, hey, when's she going to get a shot? She's been keeping busy in the Dominican Republic, in Colombia, fights that people by and large can't see unless you're on the Tim Boxeo Discord and you're watching grainy streams. Watching Tiara Brown on DAZN, that's important for her too.
No question about it. I mean, right now people are watching, and I'm watching the stream live on YouTube. A lot of great comments here on her performance. So this is what she needs, exposure.
This is a round of body work.
Yeah, that was about 8 straight shots to the body, unprotected. Bouvier absorbing them. She's going to feel that tomorrow.
Corey, you think you can absorb some of those body shots from Brown?
I would rather not, and I'm going to say no.
Cold water.
I'm very family oriented, and the fact that my mom's in the stand, my mom don't play games when it comes to me and fighting. So it's like, you better win. There is no plan B. You know, and my nephews will be watching on TV, so it's like, you have to win. There is no other way. It's just you sink or swim. It's Titanic.
Tiara Brown, understandably very relaxed, heading into this 10th and final round.
Going up the X, smiling, respecting both fighters.
Looking fresh as if this was the first round.
Correct.
10th and final round here, which once again is the money round, so a cash incentive if either fighter can score a knockout here in the final round.
See a little head movement from Gabriela this round.
Well, the old veteran is again landed some tricky shots here and there.
Yes, last
and
round
it's been game all night long.
Wow, that's a lot of shots.
This is a money round, and maybe we're going to, I mean, look, there's no other rounds after this, so if Brown wants to leave it all out there to try to get this knockout, now's the time.
Tiara Brown wants to join. Big shot there from Brown. Wants to join many of her former U.S. national amateur team teammates in holding a world championship in the pros. You know, back in 2012, at the World Amateur Championships, she was the only one to win a gold medal in that tournament. That was a team that had Michaela Mayer on it, Clarissa Shields, Franchise Cruz DAZN, Christina Cruz. The Tiara Brown finally get an opportunity to live up to the promise in the pros. She's 10 seconds away from essentially stamping that ticket.
Gabriela's just totally out of class, but she's still showing that she's not here just to lay down.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to put some pressure with WBC because they confirmed with me.
That's when we needed to see the vibe cam at the end of the fight when they were throwing bombs like that. Great ending to a good fight.
So a valiant effort from Gabriela Bouvier, but a dominant one from Tiara Brown, who in all likelihood won every round of this fight. You know, maybe a judge gives one to Gabriela Bouvier. Sometimes you see those those moments, but
that was the best shot, and that was a jab, but it came after a stiff two. Boom! The jab came right after her right hand. It just sent Gabriela's head back. Just very defensive-minded, even though she's pressing the offense, and that's Brown. And here we go with the vibe cam. This is how the action looks to the ref. She finished it off, Brown, with a left hook, and there you go. Great sportsmanship by both fighters.
And at the end of the day, plenty of respect between Brown and Bouvier. Again, Bouvier, one of those fighters that was winning world titles, fighting during an era of women's boxing, Brock, when women's fights were not getting any coverage on American television, when purses were lower, when sanctioning bodies, frankly, were just starting to recognize women's boxing and hand out world titles. Bouvier was one of those fighters that was helping pave the way for the era of boxing that we see right now for women, where it is not unusual to see this kind of fight on U.S. television.
I totally agree with you. And you're talking about a time where there was no tape on fighters, so it was almost like fighting in the amateurs and the pros, where you don't know who you're fighting, really.
And likewise, Tiara Brown, very much a trailblazer for women's boxing in the amateur ranks.
Of the
Let's take a listen in to the decision.
All three judges are in complete agreement, turning in identical scores of 100-90 across the board in favor of the winner by way of unanimous decision. And now, the mandatory WBC featherweight world title challenger, the Dark Menace, Tiara Brown.
So the Dark Menace, Tiara Brown, remains undefeated and is now the WBC mandatory challenger in the featherweight division, and she is standing by with Ak.
So, phenomenal performance. Every single round, you were so comfortable. Condition was on 100. Did you get to the point in that fight where you figured, this girl is tough, she's going to keep coming, I'm probably not going to get the stoppage, let me just cruise to victory?
Yes, she's a tough competitor. I've seen all of her fights on YouTube. So I knew she wouldn't stop unless she was like extremely hurt, because I will never stop unless I'm extremely hurt. So I know she's a warrior. She's a former world champion. My hat's off to her, but like I told her, I'm from Fort Myers, baby. Truth and out all day, every day. We hustle and go hard every single day, Sunday to Sunday, 200. And listen, I'm unstoppable.
Listen, the talk has been that you should have gotten a title shot a long time ago. You've been in the mix with all of these fighters that come from your era, and you're skilled, if not more than a lot of them. You feel like you made a statement enough tonight to say, okay, now it's time for the world to know I'm one of the best fighters in the world.
I think I did. I think I did that today. I think I put all the featherweights around the world on notice today. Every last one of them, everybody in the top 5 can catch these hands.
Well, listen, you called out Sky Nicholson. You said you've sent DMs to Eddie Hearn. What's next? What do you want next?
Well, I know Sky is getting ready to fight, and I would love to go to that fight. Me and my team are going to show up to the press conference if I'm allowed to, you know what I'm saying? But Sky, she always said she want the smoke. I'm the smoke, baby. What's good?
Is it safe to say that your next fight will be a WBC title shot?
Absolutely. I mean, unless she ducks the work. Sky Nicholson, what's up, Eddie? Holla at your girl.
Congratulations, phenomenal performance. Guys.
Thank you so much, Ak. Strong words from Tiara Brown. Hoping to get Sky Nicholson in the ring as soon as possible. What a clash of styles that would be. A fantastic puncher, a fantastic mover like Sky Nicholson. Let's take a look back at Tiara Brown's handiwork from tonight.
Every round looked exactly like this. Gabriella missing and Brown landing any shot that she wanted to land. Beautiful combinations. Always defensively minded, even on the ropes. Condition was ridiculous this fight. I think Ak said on 100.
Yeah, well, speaking of conditioning, take a look at these CompuBox punch stats. You see Tiara Brown throwing 557 punches in 10 2-minute rounds, out-throwing Gabby Bouvier 557 to 457, landing 247 punches in 10 2-minute rounds. You see that connect percentage of 44.3, a thoroughly dominant performance against a former world champion by the Dark Menace, Tiara Brown. Well, coming up on July 12th, it's the return of many of our overtime boxing favorites. Haven Brady Jr., O'Shea Jones, Kurt Scooby, and David Lopez in action on July 12th on OTX9. As we see the fans and the party continuing here, and we're going to have a party inside the ring coming up next. We have Heart and Mayhem as Malik Mayhem Montgomery takes on Cesar Corazon Juarez.
when you gotta fit 29 hours into a 24-hour day. I know I'm good when that C4 hits. It's go time. Hello? Ni hao. Bonjour. Because before you know it, it's another day and you gotta be ready to go. So let's f***ing go.
Tremendous looking tournament full of guys looking for an opportunity.
You're gonna fight the best, and that's it. Nobody can dodge anybody.
The cannon detonates.
This is the best division in boxing.
If that's the kind of fight you can expect from this tournament, you not want to miss any of these fights. Like Katsu Rocket, that's a right hand. Catch the semifinals of the OTX Super Welterweight 154-pound tournament this August at OTX 10. Oh, it's time now for our co-feature. Are you ready for Mayhem? Mayhem Montgomery in this one as he takes on the cult favorite, Cesar Corazon Juarez, the former world title challenger, being brought in to test the potential title challenger in Malik Montgomery, still working his way up the ladder as we take a look at the tail of the tape. Montgomery enjoying a height and reach advantage in this one. The 28-year-old Malik Montgomery, who's put up some fantastic punch stats in the past, back in action for the first time since June of last year.
I love fighting on the big stage and waking something inside me.
Yo no soy un peleador que viene a caerse, que viene a cobrar. Yo soy un peleador que viene a dar guerra.
My nickname is Mayhem. When I get in the ring, that's all you get mayhem.
Pues sé que voy a ir con un peleador que viene muy seguro de él. Mi seguridad es de que él no ha sufrido lo que yo he sufrido y él no tiene el hambre de triunfo que tengo yo.
Yeah, I'm a whole nother breed. It's nothing I've never seen before. I'm coming here to dominate and destroy him.
Estaba esperando esta oportunidad y no la voy a dejar. Soy un guerrero, tengo sangre guerrera en mis venas.
I'm able to persevere and push through anything. I'm gonna hurt anybody I'm in the ring with every single time I step in the ring.
Espero que te hayas preparado muy bien porque vas a tener la pelea más dura de toda tu carrera.
I'm gonna punish him as long as it lasts.
Entering the arena, Cesar Juarez.
War, I'm willing to split my soul in half to give you a show tonight.
Wow. I'm glad you reminded me about that Nonito Donaire fight, you know, because this lets me know that he's going to come here to fight tonight, even though he has 2 weeks' notice.
And though I don't agree with his opinion on who's the best Mexican fighter of all time, I think that he definitely is going to bring a fight tonight.
Who did he say?
I'd rather not say.
Yeah, he said Chavez, like every other Mexican has said.
No, not everyone.
Nothing wrong with that.
Not the ones that know boxing.
His counterpart, Malik Montgomery.
We see the two-time National Golden Glove champion Malik Montgomery make his way to the ring. The story of his career thus far has been one of activity and inactivity. Activity in the ring, because when he fights, He's one of the best pure action fighters in the sport. You look back at his 2021 fight against Alim Jumakhanov on PBC. Those two combined to throw 1,837 punches. By the end of the 6th round, Montgomery had landed 200 punches, according to Fox's punch tracker that night. But in terms of inactivity, this is a man who has had layoffs of over 200 days on 4 different occasions. We mentioned we last saw him in June of last year. He had a fight scheduled in May of this year on Red Owl Boxing on DAZN. He missed weight by about 7 pounds, but as he revealed to us, he's still dealing with a dental infection, wasn't able to eat, and still right now is dealing with that infection as he steps inside the ring right now. Guys, fighters, they're a different breed and they continue to amaze me.
Insane. You know, after getting a wisdom tooth pulled, I had to be on bed rest for a week. This guy's fighting a professional fight.
That's why you don't have no wisdom anymore. I figured. I knew something was up.
We continue on the newest proving ground in professional boxing, OTE Arena. This is OTX Friday Night Fights, powered by C4 Energy, energy that hits. Find it at any GNC. This is our co-featured bout of the evening, set for a catch weight of 131 pounds. Our judges are Ed Canner, Pat Cronin, and Nola Oliver. Presenting first, in the blue corner, this criminal law and psychology major, as well as a 2-time world title challenger, brings his relentless Mexican style into the ring in his OTX debut, as well as an extensive 29-15 record, with 22 of those victories coming by way of KO. De la Ciudad de Mexico, DF, César Corazón Juárez. His opposition to the red corner. Tonight, he returns home, renews family ties, and takes a step up in competition in his OTX debut, bringing into the ring his 95% knockout ratio, as well as an undefeated 17-0, 16 KO record. Born, bred, and reppin' Macon, Georgia, Malik Mayhem Montgomery. With last words and final instructions, referee Nate Mann.
Out front. All right, guys, one of the rules in the dressing room. We're gonna have a clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. If I say break, make sure your hands are up, 2 steps back, be ready to fight. Is there anything else you want to say to each other before the fight starts? All right, let's go.
2 all-out volume punchers going at it here in our co-feature. Malik Montgomery finally back in the ring. Cesar Juarez taking this fight on just 2 weeks' notice. See if he can keep up with the torrid pace of Mayhem Montgomery, and they are starting just as we expected here in round 1.
You called it, Corey. You not stop from the beginning. Good stiff jab by Montgomery.
No one's gonna ever call Montgomery a slow start.
Ever in life.
Montgomery told us, and it was quite haunting as he was talking about it, he said that I know that there's levels that I can take it to in a ring that other fighters just can't reach, and I'm going to keep pushing that farther and farther until my opponent can't take it. As Juarez trying to stand in there, he lands a good left hook a moment ago, but Malik Montgomery already doing the work he wants to do on the inside.
Yeah, landing some big body shots early, and that's what you want to do with a guy like Juarez, because you know what you're going to get with him. You have to slow him down early with the body attack.
Right, he knows there's levels to this, and he knows that he has a higher level in the bag because he's trained with Kenny Porter. He's been in the ring with Sean Porter and Tank Davis and Devin Haney. So this right here shouldn't be anything to him.
As you mentioned, Malik Montgomery spent a couple years training with Kenny Porter, and certainly those are two fighting ideologies that really align. You see how Mayhem Montgomery likes to fight. The Porters love that kind of fighting.
Yes.
So Montgomery now back with his father, Michael Montgomery, in his corner.
And he told Barack that Devin Haney was the best work he's ever had, surprisingly enough.
Beautiful shot there from Montgomery. A nice right hook, just chopping down right on the chin of Cesar Juarez.
As he switches to southpaw. Two big right hooks landed by Montgomery. Seems like Juarez is taking them well, though.
Both men just firing bombs here in the opening round.
Good body work by both men. I think Malik needs to keep that left hand up just a little bit, just in case.
Both guys are living up to their reputation. I like how comfortable Montgomery is in the pocket, though, Brock. Even though Juarez is wailing away, he's not backing Montgomery up with that.
But, you know, he's in the pocket because, look, Juarez is super square. Look where his right foot is at. he's so square. So
still dangerous and letting shots go.
Right, square, but because he's so square, you can see every shot that's coming. And that's why I believe Montgomery is comfortable.
Still landing a few shots.
Juarez, he certainly is. About 15 seconds of this round as Montgomery digs a couple uppercuts to the body. There's another one right along the belt line.
He's kind of doing like Tank right now, Montgomery, just allowing these soft shots to hit him because he's trying to land a big shot.
Well, I don't think those shots are too soft by Juarez, but I know what you're trying to say, Barack. This guy's throwing with bad intentions every shot. Just not, his footing isn't there to land those big shots.
You don't have the balance. You don't have the balance, so how can they be that hard? Good body work by both of them right there. They both landed body shots. Oh, these are good moments by Juarez right there. Finished it off with a nice left hook.
Oh my. You got some? Right. Got some of your eyes? Okay. Deep breath. Back to the jab. Get on this side. When he throw it, go under it. Then you come over and sit down on the left hook. He here to be here for a while. Okay.
Like we said, Malik was training with Kenny Porter, but now he's back with training with his father.
Yep, Michael Montgomery, you heard him in the corner. And the Montgomery family, just in general, very important figures in terms of boxing here in Georgia. The gym that they train out of in Macon has actually been named after the family. It's the Montgomery Brothers Boxing Arena. You heard Michael Montgomery telling his son, listen, Juarez is going to be here a little while. You're not going to break him down in the opening 2 rounds.
You know, even though Montgomery has fought on some big PBC cards early in the night when there aren't too many people in the arena, these 4-round fights, this is his biggest stage so far to really shine and put the world on notice.
And who knew he was going to be a co-main tonight?
Rolling well with those shots on the inside, but gets touched by that right hand from Cesar Juarez, who just keeps throwing. But so does Montgomery. Hard body shot there from Montgomery. I think Juarez felt that one. And he's feeling these chopping shots over the top.
Good work in the center of the ring.
See, when Juarez throws those shots, you know, some of them land, but both feet are actually in the same position, you know? So he's so square, so he can't get too much power with that.
Yeah, right there, that left hook looked like he had a little leverage on that one.
He had a proper stance. I'll tell you one thing, he's coming to fight, Juarez.
100%.
Juarez has been stopped in his last 3 losses. Again, taking this fight on just 2 weeks' notice, and admittedly, at this point in his career, he thinks of himself as an entertainer first. Of course, he wants to win. He's never going to say that he doesn't want to do that, but the way he talks about fighting is about putting on a show, and right now, he's just planting his feet and throwing haymakers, guys, flat out.
He's entertaining this audience for sure.
to be somebody who has the degrees he has, a criminal lawyer back in Mexico, he really fights well.
That's when you know you just flat out love to fight.
And not well and skillful, but he's just a fighter.
Great body shot. Good left hook to the body right there by Montgomery. And here comes Juarez.
Hard body shot there a moment ago. Beautiful right hand to the body. Now Montgomery comes over the top with a right hand.
I think Juarez is starting to feel these shots from Montgomery.
Yeah.
But I think he's letting his hands go more, so he could be stealing moments.
I also think that Montgomery has to be careful in shooting his load, so to speak, trying to get this guy out of there, because Juarez is one of those durable guys that's going to keep pressing that fight late in the fight. So he wants to hold on to some energy there.
Beautiful. You're absolutely right. I think Malik is saying right now in his mind, this guy came to fight. He's relentless, and if I can't hurt him, I gotta have to hit him with something to keep him off me, or go back to boxing.
I mean, I think,
look at that good uppercut. See, yes, you're getting some shots off Malik in the inside, but you're allowing Juarez to hit you as well.
I mean, it's good right now at this pace.
You go right back with your right hand and lead with it and knock him down.
I think Malik's father just commanded him to knock him down. He said, lean with it and knock him down.
I think maybe tap and rip it should be the game plan right now, just so you can conserve that energy.
Yes.
Get to your position. When you see those big shot openings, then you win.
Round 3 underway. His right hands to the body just keep coming from Malik Montgomery.
I'll tell you what, if he can keep this pace up, Corey, by throwing all of those shots up, he's in condition.
Well, and that is the wager that Montgomery pushes into the middle of the table each and every fight. This is a guy who is a high-level wrestler in high school, a high-level cross-country runner. He thinks he has a better gas tank than everyone he's in the ring with. So I hear what you guys are saying, but Malik Montgomery just believes he can keep going.
And I also think he's saying, all right, this guy had 2 weeks notice.
Right.
But you see how the fight is going. You know what? When he first came out in this round, those straight shots were landing, and Juarez was not in position. That's what's going to wear him down. This right here just gives him an opportunity to land shots on you.
And to your point, Corey, it is only an 8-round fight, so he's paced himself like, I can do this for 8 rounds straight.
Well, we've certainly seen him do it before. Nice uppercut on the inside. Juarez comes back with one, but Montgomery meets him with a left hook.
At the end of the day, I think Montgomery is just a dog. You know, he got beautiful boxing skills, but he's a dog in there. And if you're going to come at him like that, he's going to show you, I can beat you at your own game.
Montgomery told us in fighter meetings, listen, I love not having to worry about finding my opponent. He doesn't have to go looking for Juarez here tonight. You know where he's going to be.
Good left hook by Juarez there. I think I see a little blood coming down from Juarez's nose. Shots are having an effect, especially those uppercuts. Montgomery. This is back and forth. Obviously, Montgomery's shots are harder because of his balance, and he's just a harder puncher. Oh, I love the way Montgomery just dug to the body, and that came right back upstairs with the left hook.
Left hook on the inside, but again, Juarez just sneaking those shots in there. Just keeps throwing.
I think this round, Juarez is just reduced to pity pass right now. I think he's a little gassed. And Montgomery feels that, and that's why he's turning it up right now.
Well, and again, this is what Montgomery says that he can do. He's going to take it to a level that no one can match, particularly a fighter who had just 2 weeks to train.
Not an average fighter, though. A guy that you know what you're going to get with Juarez every time.
I I think Juarez just took a little break right there. He stepped back.
For about 1 second, yeah.
He got tired.
Cuando yo era pequeño, sufrí mucho. Vivía en una casa de cartón con mi mamá. Cuando llovía se nos metía el agua a la casa y ella tenía que poner cubetas de agua para que no nos enlodáramos. Entonces, esa es mi principal inspiración.
Ok, entonces hay que trabajar desde un principio. Hay que por abajo. ¿Vale? Mueve la cintura, ya sean rectos abajo los ganchos, César. Ajá. Se descuida mucho. Cuando tiras sube las manos cuando estás tirando tu derecha por fuera. Entonces necesito que le metas doble gancho al hígado. ¡Vamos! Doble gancho, López, ¿ok? Pero bien inteligente. Quiero que te pares bien. Quiero que te pares bien.
Round 4 underway. And this one has just been a volume punching exhibition. As of right now, according to CompuBox, Cesar Juarez throwing about 100 punches per round. Malik Montgomery throwing about 90 per round. Exactly as expected as Montgomery digs to the body with a nice left hook, but back comes Juarez with one of his own as he gets belted by a beautiful uppercut from Montgomery.
I think you saw last round how Juarez was gassing out and some of those shots was affecting him, and this might be the round where Montgomery gets what he wants.
Yeah, but he just landed huge shots and Juarez still threw combinations after that.
Yeah, wow. It's not going to take one. Juarez, he came to fight. He's bloodied up and he came to fight.
And he's not stopping. Wow. As he throws a 4-punch combination.
We mentioned everything that Juarez has going on outside of the ring. He's about a couple weeks away from a psychology degree. He's an active criminal defense lawyer in Mexico. This is just a man who loves to fight. He would not be here if he didn't love this. And he clearly loves it in a way that very few men do.
He loves it, but he doesn't have any more right now. The ref got to look at this because he's getting beat up.
We talked about it in the previous fight, Corey, about Gabriella, but this is a different situation. I think the ref needs to start looking at it. I agree with Barack.
This is all heart right here. Yeah. This is no skill. This is nothing else but heart. I'm willing to go out on my shield, and that's what he's doing.
This is when you have to save a fighter from himself.
Right. If Montgomery reads this right, he'll stop him in this round.
If not this one, the next, for sure.
We got a whole minute left.
It's just tough for a ref sometimes, you know, when you see a guy still throwing, still trying in there.
Right.
Well, as he's still throwing, he's still matching the output of Malik Montgomery.
Yeah, he's matching that, and he's just getting hit more with flush, clean shots.
You see the blood painting the gloves of Malik Montgomery right now, and I believe, I just got sprayed in the face with blood. Cool stuff.
And a little snot.
Hey.
Little blood. I don't think it'd be the first time for you, Corey.
No, any dry cleaners in Atlanta want an influencer? Hit me up. Hard body shot there from Malik Montgomery, and then a right hand that snaps the head back of Cesar Juarez.
Okay, now we need to start looking closely at this. I mean, he's getting hit with shots to the body, flush shots to the head. Wow, what a heart on Juarez.
And we'll see what Juarez's corner has to say about this as well.
They're Mexican. They're not going to say anything, but go back out there.
They're doing a good job. Montgomery slips the shot and comes with a beautiful uppercut, and I believe that uppercut hurt Juarez right there. Another angle right there with that right hand uppercut, and decides to shoot it again.
Bueno, entonces es pegadito, pero te quiero cerrado. Empezamos el round muy bien, empezaste a golpear al cuerpo y él bajó. Entonces tiene que ser igual este round, tienes que ser inteligente. Pero ojo, no falles, carnal, no tires por tirar. Fíjate, ya bloqueaste. Hay que tirar, pero hay que tirar a donde vamos a pegar fuerte.
This is a good performance by Montgomery. He went from trying to knock him out with one punch to just breaking him down.
Still has a few rounds to finish this fight by stoppage. And I think the ref is starting to look closely, so we'll see.
Round 5 underway, and we are right back to where we have spent the entirety of this fight, in a phone booth, trading volume, but more and more as the rounds go on. This has been a beating that Malik Montgomery is inflicting upon Cesar Juarez. And guys, just to tie this fight in to the broader boxing schedule this weekend, remember, Malik Montgomery ran into Teofimo Lopez twice at the Olympic trials, very nearly beat him. He feels that the second time around, he deserved the decision in that fight.
Yeah, speaking of Teofimo, who's fighting tomorrow night, making his comeback.
And he'll be facing a guy in Steve Claggett who has the very same attitude as these two men do. We're looking forward to seeing that one.
You know,
right now. Sorry, go ahead.
Up to me the most is not the because we knew the disparity in skill we was going to see tonight, right? But it's the conditioning of Montgomery. Because we thought, you know, can he keep up this pace with this guy who always fights like this? And yeah, obviously he can.
It's impressive what he's doing tonight.
Huge overhand right there from Montgomery, and he brings another one immediately behind it.
Wow, and then coming back to the body. I don't know if this fight should go before late, guys.
I think
too much punishment.
I think if Montgomery just step back just a little bit, that overhand right would land on the button instead of hitting his shoulder and his neck.
Yeah, but he's landing that right uppercut to the body, left hook to the head at will.
But he's putting everything in the overhand right. And I'm just thinking if he could just position himself properly, he'll get that stoppage. Or at least a knockdown.
You know, at what point do you say, okay, you know, I know my guy is tough, and I see him getting hit with way too many shots.
That's the first time we've seen him wobble Juarez right there. The referee took a little step in, but like you said before, he's still throwing shots.
But it's also tough for the referee because Juarez has been consistently off balance.
Yes.
That's just the way he fights.
And countering with his own shots, even in those barrages. I'm going to start blaming Juarez's corner instead of the ref, because Juarez is giving the ref enough for him to say, okay, he's still in there, throwing, still a live dog in there, but his corner for okay with him taking this type of punishment is what I'm not comfortable with.
Brutal body shots here from Montgomery, the blood splattering all over the OTX logo. And the multicolored trunks of Malik Montgomery turning a shade of pink right now because of the blood of Cesar Juarez.
There goes his fit. Be a nice souvenir, though.
All right, take a look back in the locker rooms as Raiko Santana gets ready for his main event opportunity. 250 amateur wins. Boxing in the amateur program in Cuba, but the biggest opportunity of his career tonight as he gets ready to test this man, Lorenzo Truck Simpson, once regarded as one of the top prospects in the sport of boxing, trying to prove that that is still true here tonight.
Sería aparatoso porque estás parado mal, güey. Párate bien, carnal, chíngate bien. Chíngate bien con todo.
Round 6 underway. Malik Montgomery and Cesar Juarez as the punishment continues to pile up on Cesar Juarez, but Juarez has not stopped throwing back from round 1 onwards. Even if you haven't given him a round, he's made sure that Malik Montgomery has had to work, even though Montgomery would be throwing about 100 punches a round no matter what. He's had no choice here tonight.
And it doesn't seem like his corner is budging either. They're sending him right back out there.
Okay, but you see a different style from Montgomery. He's actually fighting at a different distance. He said, I'm not fighting from the inside. I'm going to fight from long range, and now you're not going to touch me at all.
Maybe he's figuring, okay, this guy doesn't seem like he's going anywhere. Let me cruise these last 3 rounds.
Yeah, maybe he needs a break because he's fighting just as hard and throwing just as many punches. Staying at long range, shooting the jab, caught with a straight right, pivot out. Good work by Montgomery. It's also giving Juarez a little break from all of those hard shots he was receiving. On his toes.
Nice uppercut again on the inside. You see Montgomery tapping into that skill every once in a while, but I mean, this is a man with a very distinct identity in the ring. He's playing around a little bit here in round 6, but the real Malik Montgomery is who we've seen for the entirety of this fight.
Absolutely, but we said before, this is what he can do. And Juarez is trying to get him back into that firefight.
In other words, if you're just tuning in, this is not what we've been seeing for the last.
That's why you see the blood on both shorts, right?
Just unloading with right hands is Malik Montgomery. Who certainly has power as well, as my screen and notes continue to be splattered with sweat and blood. An interesting little factoid, which I'll give credit to, from my good pal Gray Johnson over at BoxRec. Montgomery's knockout percentage of 94.1% is the second highest in the top 100 of BoxRec's 130-pound fighters. The only person with a better knockout percentage than him is Eduardo Sugar Nunez. We'll see if Montgomery can indeed build upon that, or if the double tough Cesar Juarez can go the full distance tonight.
Ya no quiere.
Forward. Deep breath. Deep breath. Deep breath. And when you was boxing, you lift your body open. Don't leave your body open. Move to the side. Hit him when you turn. When you turn, he open for the left hook. Turn on him and throw it there.
Vamos, mueva la cintura. Mueva la cintura. Pasos laterales. Pasos laterales y adentro.
Abajo,
se quiere salir, cálalo. Se quiere salir, cálalo a los cuerdas. Vamos. Pero no le des distancia. Es pegadito, cabrón. Quieres volver, pero con todo, cabrón.
Round 7 underway. Malik Montgomery and Cesar Juarez, Barack, two men that are just built different, built of something else. The lungs of Malik Montgomery, the gas tank, seemingly built of iron. The chin of Cesar Juarez, maybe made of titanium.
Definitely ticking all boxes, you know. I'm so impressed by the stamina of Montgomery, and we knew what Juarez was going to come in. This is not disappointing. Good check left hook by Montgomery.
Yeah, beautiful shot there.
I mean, what more can you ask? Like, from in the corner of Montgomery, what more can you ask? Okay, you could tell him, okay, don't let him hit you so much on the inside, but why? If he's not hurting you and you're landing your power shots, you could tell him to box more just to make it more clear. I don't know. He's beating him every single round. What more can you tell him?
No, and you know, as we look at some live totals from CompuBox here ringside, I mean, Montgomery is landing at over a 40% clip. So nearly every second punch that he's throwing, Barack, is landing. There's not much more that you could do offensively as he just pastes Juarez again with a rapid-fire combination on the inside.
And Juarez just pulled him into a firefight again because he landed a good shot when Montgomery was on the ropes.
I mean, guys, you know, he's taking a beating. It doesn't seem like the ref is budging. His corner's not budging. This fight might be going a distance considering the beating that he's taken. I mean, it doesn't get tougher than this guy Juarez.
I think if Montgomery didn't, you know, fight like he did in the 6th round and boxed him, I think maybe he would have stopped. I think maybe he would have stopped him probably this round.
Well, you mentioned, look, maybe he needed a break. He was fighting at a high rate for every single round to that point.
If that's the case, I can understand.
Or Juarez is just extremely durable. Guys, there are sometimes you run into guys that are extremely difficult to stop, and Juarez has been that type of guy. But right now, Montgomery's starting to break through, the blood's starting to flow with some more intensity from the face of Cesar Juarez.
Juarez is hurt. That's the first hold we've seen this entire fight.
Maybe.
He's trying to hold him. He's hurt.
Look, Montgomery maybe should have taken this round off and came hard for the bonus round. He get that extra bread.
You're right, but he's lucky it's 20 seconds left because he's finished.
If I'm Montgomery, I'll wait till the next round.
Oh, he's finished. He's really affected by every shot. That right hook shook him.
The durability in the heart of Cesar Juarez is otherworldly.
Even I know what he said. He said it in Spanish. I know that first word. The crowd are on their feet. This is a fight.
What a show so far.
I see Mike Buss from Atlanta in the building. Became famous with the Country Wayne skits, and now he's a movie star. He's in VIP, of course. You know, we don't get to sit in with the what couches. Country Wayne, bro. Come on, you gotta get on IG. You need an IG present. Montgomery has the stamina of Sean Porter.
Final round, and I think Malik Montgomery was already throwing punches before the bell even rang.
Usually they're supposed to, you know, get a pause before in the last round, and that never happened. He just came out firing.
Listen, the nicknames of these two fighters describe what we have seen here tonight. Mayhem and Heart.
I think it's
a lot of heart.
Montgomery's corner reminded him, hey, this is the money round. Let's get him out of there.
He's going this way.
I don't know, man.
I just don't see how he can take these shots. He's going this way.
He's taking them for...
I feel like you've been saying that since round 3.
All right, maybe next round. We might have an extra round.
Maybe next fight.
Listen,
let's go 9 rounds.
But that speaks to how improbable what we're seeing is. Fighters typically cannot absorb this kind of punishment. Cesar Juarez is a different breed.
Yeah, absolutely. 100% Corey.
He's still going this round.
I mean, I would say the average fighter taking this type of punishment doesn't last this long.
I hope he can finish his degree after this fight.
Let's pray for that, bro.
As we mentioned, Cesar Juarez just a couple of weeks away from a psychology degree. I'd love to have a psychologist study the brain of Cesar Juarez and where he finds this kind of resolve.
Do you think his professor gives him a week off from Corey before he goes back to class?
He might need one after this. As Malik Montgomery is still wailing away and still throwing in the same volume that he was in round 1 here in round 8.
Special breed.
Good body work. I guess Montgomery said, listen, this guy has a head like a ring post. Let me go downstairs and try to finish it down here.
I can't understand how Malik can still throw like this and really have some steam behind every
leverage, yes. I'll tell you what, Malik has impressed me tonight a great deal.
And that shot straying quite a bit low. And Cesar Juarez will take the first break that he's taken in this fight. Guys, we're inches away from Malik Montgomery. His shoes are splattered in the blood
guys,
of Cesar Juarez.
Doesn't the timer have to be stopped here by the time clock?
Yeah, the official clock has been stopped.
No, it hasn't. It's going. There's only 14 seconds left.
I mean,
there's 40 seconds left.
The clock should have been stopped.
I don't know if the referee told him to stop it. He should have called the timeout.
Yeah, because he would have had an extra 40 seconds.
And we would have got that stoppage that I wanted. Wow.
Well, this would appear like the official clock has been stopped. Cesar Juarez might be stopped as he is flat on his back. Now we hear the 10-second marker. And oh my goodness, it's Cesar Juarez going to make it to the final bell. He will. Unbelievable heart from Cesar Juarez. And an unbelievable gas tank from Malik Montgomery.
C4 fight of the night, fellas.
I mean, these guys fought like they chugged about 5 C4s before they got in the ring tonight.
This kid is special. He is special, Malik Montgomery. What kind of stamina does he have?
Well, as one-sided as that fight was, and likely will be on the scorecards, Baraka, this is going to be on some kind of a year-end list.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But that low blow wasn't really that low. It wasn't where Juarez was pointing. He needed that break. He needed that break. I knew this was going to be the round. If it wasn't for him faking that low blow, he would have got stopped. Oh, beautiful angle right there. That left hook that just put him down. I'm surprised Juarez got back up and kept fighting, or at least tried. Malik is not even breathing hard. This is unheard of.
The fans certainly enjoyed that one. That was something to behold. And let's take a look at what the fans had to say in the YouTube chat. And 69% of the fans believe Malik Montgomery deserved this win.
The 31% Mexican fans, like, that's ridiculous. If anyone thinks.
Ladies and gentlemen, after an all-out war inside the OTX ring, we go to the scorecard. Judges Cantor and Cronin turned in identical scores of 80-71, and Judge Oliver scores it 79-73. All three in favor of the winner by way of unanimous decision. From Macon, Georgia, Malik Mayhem Montgomery.
So Malik Mayhem Montgomery improves to 18-0, back in the ring for the first time since June 6th of 2023. And Barak, it looked like he had some pent-up energy in the ring here tonight.
And he spent it. He spent it in the ring and still has more to go. He could have fought a 12-round fight like that. That's amazing. And I bet you there are people looking at him saying, oh, I don't know if I want to fight that guy.
Certainly not. And we're going to hear from him right now. He's standing by with Ak.
All right, Malik, first off, congratulations on a dominant performance. You talked about your rate, your work rate, your condition, how it's unmatched. You proved that tonight. Did you get to a point in this fight where you figured Juarez is not going to go down, I'm going to have to coast to victory?
Absolutely. We knew going in that he was going to be a really tough, wiry veteran. And we've seen, we've seen the matches. He can take a shot. I was killing him to the body. But we saw also, like I said, I want to take this time to also work on my skills that show that it's different, that it's different levels. I got different variations to my fighting ability. And when I utilized it in the ring, you clearly saw it's a big deal skill. skill difference between me and him. But you have to see I'm a dog.
Before you came out of that last round, we all know that's the money round. Did your corner say, okay, we can get him out of this round, and you almost did?
He told me to pick it up. He told me to pick up that last round, but he told me to also use lateral movement. Don't let him. All he wanted to do was lay in there and throw those big body shots that I was countering him off of. I was countering him in between of, and he told me to use my lateral movement to set up the big shots and then turn it on.
Look, you made a statement tonight against a durable fighter that comes to fight. You fought 4 times in 2022. 2 times in 2023. How many in 2024? This is your first fight. How many more times you want to be here before the next year?
I want to fight at least 2 or 3 times for next year. I want to get right back in the ring, right back busy.
Well, listen, if you fight like that, nobody's gonna have a problem with seeing you back in the ring. Congratulations, champ, guys.
Thank you so much, Ak. Yeah, no one is going to complain about seeing this man in the ring. Get him in the ring as often as he would like.
I want to see him fight immediately. He is special. I can't say it enough. Wow.
Yeah, this is a made-for-TV action fighter, Malik Mayhem Montgomery, and inactivity has plagued him throughout his career, and that's a shame because look what he could do when he gets in the ring. A show stealer here tonight. We take a look back at the highlights.
Yeah, and look, inactivity, and there's no questions about ring rust. His punch output is amazing. He landed a bunch of shots, landed every shot that he wanted to land, beat him toe-to-toe and at long range, and got the knockdown in the last round.
All right, check out these CompuBox totals. A reminder, this is an 8-round fight. And these guys threw 668 punches and 677 punches, respectively. Malik Mayhem Montgomery landed 294 punches in that fight in 8 rounds. That's a 44% clip. Just a fantastic fight and a heroic effort from Cesar Corazon Juarez to make it to the final bell. And a sign of respect, justifiably, between Juarez and Malik Mayhem Montgomery. But just a reminder that at OTX 10, it is the continuation of our 154-pound tournament. 2 semifinal fights. Francisco Verone and Brandon the Cannon Adams, and Robert Terry takes on Andreas Katsarakis, who will be joining us on commentary in our main event. As we take a look once more at the OTX tournament bracket. Just some fantastic fights to kick things off, and now Adams and Verone in the semis, and Katsarakis and Terry, the winner of those 2 fights, will go on to the OTX tournament finals. Well, coming up next, it is our main event. Lorenzo Truck Simpson on his redemption tour. He'll be taking on El Corojo, Raiko Santana. Our main event coming up next.
I think it's my Muhammad Ali moment.
Anthony Joshua, Francis Ngannou. It is Godzilla against King Kong. What happens when you hit Francis Ngannou and he doesn't move?
What they're doing here is taking boxing to the highest stratosphere.
It almost seems like we're living in a bit of a fantasy world.
Hawaiian punch. Get it?
Tremendous looking tournament full of guys looking for an opportunity.
You're gonna fight the best, and that's it. Nobody can dodge anybody.
The cannon detonates.
This is the best division in boxing.
If that's the kind of fight you can expect from this tournament, you do not want to miss any of these fights. Like Katsarakis, that's a right hand. Catch the semifinals of the OTX Super Welterweight 154-pound tournament this August at OTX 10. It is main event time here at the OTE Arena as we take a look at the tail of the tape. Lorenzo Truck Simpson, Raiko Corojo Santana. We see the measurables in the favor of Raiko Santana, who will enjoy a height advantage, but a fairly significant reach advantage, as well as the 30-year-old Cuban looks to score an upset over Lorenzo Simpson, who of course has suffered a loss in this very arena, but is continuing his road to redemption tonight.
This fight, you should expect me to fight my fight. No, vamos a ganar 100%, venimos a ganar siempre. I'm dangerous because whatever it takes, that's what I'm at. Pienso que va a ser una buena pelea, pero no vengo de tan lejos aquí, por gusto vengo a ganar. I'm somebody that got all type of skill. I can punch, I can bang, I can box you. I can just change and adapt to anything. Mi oponente que vengo a naquear, que se ponga fuerte porque va a estar dura la cosa. Que se prepare fuerte. My prediction for tonight is Lorenzo Truck Simpson knockout. You see me in my eyes? I'm ready. Bring your A game, because it's Truck for sure.
Making his ring walk, Raiko Santana.
Oh, here comes Raiko Santana. 250 amateur wins coming up in the Cuban amateur system. One of those wins is over William School, who very well may be the man who faces Canelo Alvarez next. But as successful as he was as an amateur in Cuba, never went to the Olympics, was never able to break through onto the Cuban national amateur team, and as a result, when he turned pro, he had to start out by fighting prospects on the road in Russia. And so when you look at his record, it might not be representative of just how good Raiko Santana actually is.
Oh, well said. He doesn't have the typical Cuban style, you know, but I like him better in the pros. Come up short a couple of times, but we're going to see tonight he has a tough competitor in front of him.
We last saw Santana dropping an 8-round unanimous decision to Daniel Blancas on the Benavidez Andrade undercard last November. Santana dropped Blancas in the first round and arguably should have been credited with another knockdown in the same round. Most fans in attendance, there weren't that many that early in the night, but the fans who watched that fight, most of them felt he deserved the decision on that night.
His opposition, Lorenzo Simpson.
So the redemption tour continues for Lorenzo Truck Simpson, who gets an unexpected main event slot here at the OTE Arena. And guys, an opportunity to confront his demons, if you will. This is the very spot where he lost his undefeated record. He was upset by Vladimir Hernandez last season on Overtime Boxing. We saw him on DAZN last month, getting a bounce-back first-round stoppage win over Noe Lopez. A little bit of a soft touch in that fight. The real redemption tour begins right now.
I heard him say in an interview, you know, you have to admit to yourself that you lost, and I agree. But the biggest question is the why. Why, in your heart, you lost? And if you're saying in your mind, it's because I had an injury, then you're coming back confident. And I gotta say that is the nicest outfit I've probably seen ever in a boxer. Right, this would have been, imagine a drip check on this right here. This is crazy.
Design, and obviously that OnlyFans check probably helped with that.
And here are the OTX dancers getting us ready for our main event. And it's time now to send it up to our MC for this evening, Mr. Lupe Contreras.
From professional boxing's newest proving grounds, OTE Arena, we continue with OTX Friday Night Fights, powered by C4 Energy, energy that hits. Find it at any local GNC this contest. 8 rounds or less in the super middleweight division, scoring the action ringside. We have our judges, Ed Canner, Pat Cronin, and Nola Oliver. And now, ATL, prepare to be entertained. The OTX main event is on now. Presenting first, in the blue corner, this disciple of the Cuban School of Boxing and international road warrior looks to derail another highly touted prospect in his 15th bout as a pro, with a record of 10 victories against 4 losses, 6 of his victories coming by way of knockout. From Pinar del Rio, Cuba, El Corojo, Raiko Santana. Across the ring in the red corner, he brings that diesel power as he returns to the OTX ring. Refocused, rededicated, and re-energized in his 16th professional bout with an outstanding record of 14 victories against 1 lone defeat. 8 of those victories coming by way of KO. Representing Baltimore, Maryland, Lorenzo Simpson. With last words and final instructions, referee Cornelius Stevenson.
All right, gentlemen, you receive your instructions in the back room. Your trunks are good. Your trunks are a little high, so we're going to work right here at the numbers. You see it? Obey my commands at all times. Touch gloves, see you at the bell.
So time now for our main event, a rebirth for Lorenzo Truck Simpson. Now trained by Ronnie Shields. He's in camp in Houston, Texas. And Raiko Santana, a familiar situation, trying to knock off a top prospect here in our main event. Round 1, this one's scheduled for 8. Just a reminder, this is a money round. Financial incentive for both fighters to score a stoppage in the first and final rounds of this fight.
You know, Truck mentioned how comfortable he is in his weight division. Everything went smooth in camp. Training with Ronnie Shields now. And his preparation is to the T, as according to him.
Yeah, and Truck talked about the need for a different environment. He admitted to us, listen, I was trying to do what he described as kid stuff outside of the ring. The distractions, the trappings of your hometown. He doesn't have those in Houston, where he says, like, there's nothing for me to do but go to the gym and go back home.
And believe it or not, those things, then those distractions play a part.
Of course, the biggest issues plaguing Lorenzo Simpson in his lone professional loss against Vladimir Hernandez. Barack, you and I talked about it off the top. The torn labrum he was fighting with and a foot injury at the same time. And after the second round, he told us, listen, I told Calvin Ford, I can't move anymore. I can't fight the way I want to.
Very true, but you know, I watched that fight over and over and over. I couldn't tell he was injured, could you?
I mean, he did a good job of masking it. That doesn't mean he wasn't. But I think today will prove a lot.
I think how Simpson wanted to fight that fight, guys, was doing a lot of this, what we're seeing, moving around, using lateral movement, using his footwork, and at a certain point, he feels it just wasn't possible for him against Vladimir Hernandez. And again, that's not to take away from Hernandez, who's a fantastic volume puncher and played his part in that fight, too.
Oh, no question about it. And I mean, Truck said he does want to get his lick back, but the weight disparity right now doesn't make sense.
Santana trying to lock Simpson down. Nice right hand there from Raiko Santana, who we know has some pop and has shown that pop early. We talked about the early knockdown against Daniel Blancas last time out. Certainly something that Simpson has to be wary of.
I think Santana just came ready. You know, you're not going to get the same fighter that somebody else fought when you're a bigger name, and this right here could be a statement for Santana.
Hard right hand over the top there from Santana.
I think Truck is working on trying to get that distance right with the jab to make sure when he just tried that big looping uppercut, which is one of his money shots. He's just not at the right distance yet.
And while he was looking for that shot, and once again, Santana hit him with a right hand. Santana's shorts are very, very high. It's a little flabby. And his shorts are very,
as the ref pointed that out too, in the middle of the ring.
¿Dónde está saliendo? A la derecha, ¿verdad? Córtale el ring. Más jab, más pinta. No le gusta el cuerpo. Hazte más chiquito.
All right? Every now and then, just give me one. Just give me one, and then start adding the hook to it. All right? Once you add the hook to it, come back with it again. Upper. Okay? He's walking right to you, so you can't miss it. Don't get on these ropes. Remember? Here, back,
well, as we're listening in to Ronnie Shields in the corner with Lorenzo Simpson, we welcome in one of his other proteges, Andreas Katsarakis, one of the semifinalists in the overtime 154-pound tournament. Does that sound familiar to you, Andreas? You've heard that before?
It definitely does. That urgency, you know, it's something nice that you want to have in the corner.
Yes.
It's always good to have Ronnie there.
What do you see so far from Lorenzo Truck in the first round?
He's nice, composed, taking control of the fight with the jab, the movement. He's, you know, he's taking his time wherever he has to. His counterattack, he's trying to find his moment. I really like what he's doing.
Katz, what has been your experience in the gym with Truck? Have you guys had a chance to spar together and been in the gym together at the same time?
Yes, Truck is a hard-working guy. You know, from the start when he came to the gym, he showed his presence in the spar and everything. And I really like what he's been doing here.
What do you think he needs to do to take over the fight?
Look, I think, like what we saw right now, I think as the time progresses, he's going to start to breaking him down. I think the first round was a recognition round, even though he did great. And I think as the time progresses, he's going to do better and better. He's going to break down the opponent and land more combinations.
Now, I mentioned to Barack that it seemed like the first round he was trying to really get the distance probably, right? He has that great left uppercut, but you have to be in the right spacing to land that shot. Now, he's letting his hands go a little bit more, so I think the distance is there.
I think he saw Katz come sit down ringside. So
that's impressive, yeah.
I know, impressive.
He knows what we like to see. He knows what we like to see, man.
A body shot there from Santana a moment ago. Katz, how nice is it for you, with the biggest fights of your career on the horizon, to have talent like Truck Simpson coming into the gym, and to have good fighters, just more and more of them coming to the Shields camp?
It's amazing to be able to have all these guys at the gym. You know, versatile also. Everybody has a different style. We have southpaws, we have orthodox. You can work with everything you want. Like, I think it's very tough to get an opposition that I'm not gonna be able to work on the gym on the opponent.
How often do you spar with Simpson?
With Truck, I think we just did a couple sparrings on before his previous fight, before his last fight. Because this camp, you know, my date was 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, his date was now, so, and I was fighting an orthodox.
Shot there from Simpson a moment ago. There was a nice right hand from Raiko Santana as well.
And I think Truck is doing that tap, and then ripping to the body.
There you go.
That's what you got to do.
It's working for him right now.
At this point, it's still a competitive fight.
I think Truck is taking over this round, the second half of this round. He started to land a couple of good body shots and straight lefts down the pipe.
Hard body shot there from Simpson.
Sometimes you don't have to exert that much energy with every single shot. You pick your shots, and then you sit on some of them.
Right, and that's how you sneak a heavy shot in. You know, when the guy's not looking, because you just tapped him with some some soft shots, and then all of a sudden, boom, you ripped him again.
Speaking of heavy shots, Katz, I mean, how is Simpson's power in the gym respond?
Simpson is sharp. Simpson is sharp. He's fast, and because he picks his spot, when he gets you, he's gonna be like, okay, it's nice.
So, Katz, we gotta ask, like, being in a tournament format right now, you obviously know who your next opponent is going to be. How early does that preparation process start for you? Are you already watching tape of Robert Terry? Is that already underway?
No, I haven't started watching tape. I usually start watching tape once I get in camp. Like the beginning of camp, 8 weeks out, I'm gonna watch like a couple fights. And as the time progresses, probably 4 weeks out, I'm gonna watch a couple more times. 1 week out, I'm gonna watch a couple more times. And that's about it.
Some people are picking you in that fight. You're a heavy favorite in that fight, right? Just more of a polished fighter. People seeing you in the finals. Does that affect your training, or are you taking Terry and training for Terry as good as you would for any fight?
Nothing changes. Even when I was fighting in club shows, journeyman, I was training the same way. I was running the same way. I was doing the same sparring, because at the end of the day, I don't care who the opponent is. I want to look great in every fight.
Did you expect Robert Terry to win?
Yes. When I saw, I will tell you when I expected. When I saw Villalobos getting in the fight, like 180, he looked too big, too sluggish. I mean, I thought he maybe would be able to bully him a little bit, but that wasn't the case.
At what point, Katz, does Truck have to maybe turn it up to the next gear?
I think right now we're seeing him breaking him down. What we saw in the last half of the second round, it was already taking place. I think 4th, 5th, 6th round, he's going to completely take over. I mean, we can see even his defense when the other guy goes, he's completely comfortable.
And these body shots are starting to pile up from Simpson as well. He landed a lot of them in round 2.
Turning them easily.
Yes, sir.
I mean, one interesting tidbit about this fight, too, guys, is that originally it was scheduled as a 6-rounder. Then, when it got bumped up to the main event, became an 8-rounder. Katz, have you ever had something like that before, where the rounds changed in one of your scheduled fights, and how did you handle that?
It never happened to me before, from 6 to 8, but to be honest, I would be more than happy for it to happen.
Because you're going to train for 8 to 10 rounds anyway, correct?
Yes. I train the same way, from 4 rounds to 10 rounds to 12 rounds.
Right.
My training doesn't change, other than sparring.
I think the Truck is looking more comfortable in there now in the pocket. He's seeing the shots coming, and he's catching them and being able to counter the body shots right away.
And spinning off, getting out of position.
And turning them right around.
Santana was like, no, that uppercut didn't get through.
Santana, that one certainly did. Santana's still trying to get that right hand working the way it was in round 1. But it's been the body shots of Truck Simpson that have told the story the last 2 rounds. Simpson trying to work on the inside. We know he's been getting some terrific inside work working with Katz at the gym.
What do you say he's better at, inside work or long range?
He can do both, because on the long range is definitely his game. He can definitely work around and box very good. But even on the inside, once he fills the opponent out, he's very slick, moves his head around, and he has good counter punches.
Santana landed a couple of good body shots, left hook to the body there.
And that's what I said. Santana's not the normal Cuban fighter. You see, he fights well on the inside. He's landing his good shots.
I think most of the Cubans nowadays.
Yeah. Well, he's more of a Mexican style, as they say, than a Cuban.
Final moments here of round 3 as Lorenzo Simpson bangs away once more to the body. See Raiko Santana celebrating like he won that round, but the crowd certainly has other ideas. Well, Andreas Katsarakis, thank you so much for joining us here tonight.
For having me, guys.
Best of luck against Robert Terry. We can't wait to call another one of your fights. It was a pleasure to call that fight against Kudratilla.
Thank you, guys.
Looking forward to seeing you again, champ.
Andreas Katsarakis, you'll see him in the OTX 154-pound tournament in the semifinals against Robert Terry.
Move your hand. Give me them uppercuts. Earn it. Give me them uppercuts. Earn it. Give me that hook.
I guess everybody thought Brandon, Adam Arms will probably win, but Pats is no joke. That's going to be, if those two are left in the finals, wow, that's going to be a hell of a fight, especially the way Brandon is showing the power that he has now at this weight class, being that he came from middleweight.
Round 4 underway. Once again, this fight now an 8-rounder, not the 6-rounder that these two men originally prepared for. We'll see if that plays a factor here in our main event as Lorenzo Simpson goes right back downstairs to the body, which has been the money shot for him all night long.
One thing I say about Truck, he's sharp, he picks his shots. You can see him look right before he throw, like where I'm going to shoot. He'll look down, he'll fake you with the eyes, come up top.
He's not the guy that's going to be throwing punches just to throw him to be a high-volume puncher. He's going to be very economical with those shots.
Just like who?
Canelo Alvarez.
Tank Davis. Somebody he trains with. Yep.
Yes. Good observation.
Canelo Alvarez as well, you're right.
Nice body shot there from Santana. Trying to change levels and bring the right hand downstairs. Santana had his best round in round 1, landed a couple of flush right hands, but since then, and the body work and the movement of Lorenzo Simpson.
I think Simpson's got his distance.
Down pack.
He's just squeezing out of those shots.
Both guys look in good condition as well. I don't see anybody gassing out so far.
I agree. Santana to the body.
A 2-punch combination there from Simpson.
You know, I see Santana throwing shots here and there, not doing enough to really solidify winning any of these last 3 rounds. Good combo there.
Beautiful right hook.
I think he might have hurt him with that right hook the way he was leaning on top of him. I'm not sure. Could be.
And I kind of think maybe he doesn't have the tank that Simpson has. But Simpson has been going to the fight.
Santana took this fight on relatively short notice, although he does have another fight scheduled in just a couple of weeks. He was in training for that one, intends to fight that fight also, if he can.
Depending on how this ends.
Depending on how this ends and what happens here.
Doesn't go the distance, he will be suspended and not be able to fight.
Absolutely. Safety first.
Santana trying to find space for that right hand again.
Landed a good right hand to the body.
Nice uppercut as well. Hard chopping left hand there from Truck Simpson.
Trying to pick his shot, stay in the pocket. Left hand down the midsection. Short.
Final moments here of round 4.
Look out in the pocket. The Truck still sees what's coming. He's able to dodge shots, and he's looking for each shot.
Very observant. That's not easy to do in a high pace when a guy's throwing punches at you.
I see a lot tonight. I see a lot
of tank in him.
Still a competitive fight. Still a competitive fight. Look, see, Santana's landing shots. That was a good right hand by Santana. Came with another right hand. And then look, Truck just came with that beautiful right hook.
All right, let's take a look at what the fans on YouTube are thinking. Obviously, they feel that Lorenzo Simpson is winning this fight. 76% of voters voting for Truck, just 24 for Raiko Santana.
I would have to agree with that.
Yeah, I agree too, but I still say this is a competitive fight.
For moments in the fight, Santana is competitive.
Yes.
Remember, Rock, these fights are judged by rounds, and in 3 minutes, you have to do more than that. I think Truck is doing more.
I agree. I think he's landing the more flush shots.
Round 5 underway in our main event between Lorenzo Simpson and Raiko Santana. 8 rounds in the super middleweight division as Truck Simpson officially campaigning at 168 now, says his body feels a whole lot better.
Looks like he's turning it up a little bit, going into another gear here. Simpson, that is.
Moved up in weight, still has stamina. That's good to see. Still has speed.
Definitely the faster fighter tonight.
Santana will obviously be warned for a shot behind the head there, fairly blatant.
Yeah, actually,
a moment ago.
Held him as well to deliver that shot.
This is not BKFC. You can't do that. Hard body shot again from Lorenzo Simpson.
And that's clean. I mean, he has his trunks high.
Exactly. His trunks is up to his nipples. So that's a clean shot.
Good right. Hook to the body by Simpson.
He is just sinking these uppercuts to the body.
Oh, wow. Good
just
work.
burying these shots into the midsection of Raiko Santana. He was starting to hunch over a little bit, maybe as if to try to prevent some of those shots.
Yeah, that's what you think.
I would not blame him. You see him right now. Just selling out to guard from that uppercut to the body.
I think this is Simpson's best round. I mean, he's barely getting touched.
Yeah.
And he's in the pocket.
Good right. He's finding that right
He
hook.
is comfortable
That
right
grill
now.
right now.
This looks like sparring.
Yeah.
Seriously. This looks like sparring. Like he's that comfortable.
Perhaps like one of the sparring sessions that he's had in the past with Gervonta Davis that the people in Baltimore gym circles have described as brutal brotherly brawls.
Say that fast 3 times.
You know, I love that left uppercut followed by the right hook. And he just missed the uppercut there and grazed at the hook.
You know what I think it is now? I mean, of course, the disparity in skill, you know. But I think the gas tank, right when I say it, Santana just turns it on. Thanks a lot. He's ruined my whole monologue there. Still, I think he took all of that time off, and now he's throwing some shots, Santana, but I just don't think he has the gas tank that Truck has.
Well, things will get really interesting for round 6 onwards because, again, we remind people that this was originally scheduled for 6. They trained for 6 and get 2 bonus rounds here.
Right.
So this fight could start looking very different starting in the next round as Simpson chops away with a couple nice right hooks and then brings that left hand right down the pipe. Good way to close out the round for Lorenzo Simpson.
Yeah, Finished strong in that round, for
He
sure.
sat down on that shot.
Well, we're inviting cheese, meat, and sauce lovers everywhere to take a flavor quest. Introducing the new $3 foot-long dippers, coming in flavors like double cheese, pepperoni and cheese, and chicken and cheese. 11 beloved sauces and 33 cheesy, saucy, snackable choices. Find your dip with the new foot-long dippers, the sauciest new snacks at Subway.
Are they open when we get out of here, Corey?
They're always open. They're open late, baby.
You're too happy doing that read, you know? Wow. You saw Elijah Pierce's father in the crowd. You know, Elijah obviously not here because he fell ill.
Round 6 underway. Our main event between Lorenzo Simpson and Raiko Santana. Lorenzo Simpson on what he's calling his redemption tour. We saw him bounce back with a first-round win here on DAZN over Noe Lopez. Now looking for his 2nd straight victory tonight in our main event, in the very place where he suffered his first professional loss last summer here in Atlanta.
I think Lorenzo.
Beautiful right hook there from Lorenzo Simpson. That might have been the hardest shot that he's landed tonight.
He's walking Santana back to the ropes. I think he's trying to set him up with an uppercut.
Good body work by Santana, trying to stay in this fight. But not doing enough, in my opinion. The hardest shots are being landed by Truck Simpson for sure.
You're seeing that subtle inside work from Truck Simpson here on the inside. The catching, the rolling with shots on the inside.
There we go. That's what I said. He's trying to get him to the ropes. Make him think that. Exactly. Make him confident and land that uppercut. That one just missed.
Hands are free. Hands are free. Nice body shot there from Santana. That one got his corner excited.
Yeah, very excited, but he's missing all of his shots.
I really think Chuck is seeing all of these shots.
Yeah, he is.
He just landed a flush left hand that we can all see.
Clearly. He loaded up on that right hook there. Look, Santana has taken some good shots here in this fight.
I think it's clear to say that a focused Chuck is very dangerous.
Absolutely.
Good combination there from Santana. You see Santana raising his glove, announcing to the audience that he landed something good. And Simpson just missed with a beautiful uppercut a second ago.
You know, Brock, you said focused Chuck, but also an uninjured Chuck.
Yes.
Well, listen, Santana has not given up belief in this fight. I think there's a strong argument he won round one. We saw at the end of round 3, he raised his glove like he thought he won that round.
Well,
so he thinks he's still in his
style
fight.
too in the amateurs. You're always raising a hand.
Yeah, you gotta pander to the judges a little bit. But Santana clearly thinks this is still a winnable fight and not just by knockout.
I think he's playing a role that he's supposed to play. He's supposed to look like a winner. Yeah. You know, you don't want to look defeated, but I think he knows who.
I think his corner is this corner's job to let him know, listen, you're down in this fight.
Oh, so those are some hard shots by Santana. He just not hitting the mark. Good left hook. Actually, left uppercut by Chuck Simpson and tried to spin under but got caught. And that was a good retaliation by Santana. And a little raise of a hand like, oh, my combination I just got it off.
But I need plenty of hard shots. Come on, man, you just give it a, you ain't nothing in that advantage. Let's go, we got 2 rounds left. You got a horse, man. You want to win this fight? Okay, well, come on, get out there, talk to punches. It don't happen unless you start punching.
A pep talk by Ronnie Shields.
You go, man. Hard shots. Forget the pity pat now.
Shields says no more pity pat, tap, tap, hard shots.
See if Chuck responds.
Round 7 begins, and again, this is perhaps when things start to get interesting. These are not rounds that either of these fighters originally prepared to fight. This was originally scheduled as a 6-rounder on the undercard of Elijah Pierce, Jose San Martin. As that fight fell out yesterday, this gets elevated to the main event. It gets bumped up to an 8-rounder.
It should be ready for these extra 2 rounds. These guys are professionals.
Hard body shot from Raiko Santana a moment ago. Finds another one right along the belt line. Good start to the round here for the Cuban.
Wow, that was a hard shot by Trump. He's going to have to let his hands go. That left uppercut did get through. God, it's Santana. Chuck really has fast hands. Good defense. Spinner. Good spinner. Good footwork.
Nice shot to the body there from Simpson.
I mean, Simpson, he's shown a lot of skill in this fight. Like, definitely levels above Santana in terms of being polished and skilled in their footwork, hand speed.
But I think Ronnie's seen what he can do, and he wants him to take it over. He wants him to sit down on these shots. Rip like that. Come up. Top. You know, sometimes you can carry a fight. Right. You know, when you don't have to. Truck has already shown us that he is the better fighter, of course. Oh, good defense.
Nice work on the inside. Nice defensive work in particular, as you just pointed out, Brock. Rolling underneath those shots.
And then countering with that right hook. Uh-oh, big left hand looping around.
Let it go, let that arm go.
Santana looks tired. And them body shots is not helping.
I think those are the reasons why he's tired.
I think Truck is going to turn it up now. He got him up against the rope. He's not letting him leave. But
Maybe Truck is taking this round off to finish strong in the money round.
No, I think he's
Nice
pouring it on
left
right
hand
now.
connects there from Simpson as he's really starting to lean on Santana and starting to bully him here in the latter half of round 7.
Absolutely. Pushing him right back into the corner. Wants to beat him down in his own corner. That's a little trick right there. The Truck there, just cover the mouth of your opponent.
Give him a little more time.
Nice right hook, snaps the head back to Raiko Santana. Final 15 seconds of round 7 as Lorenzo Simpson obeying orders and really starting to rip and sit down on these shots, just like Ronnie Shields told him to do.
I think he made Ronnie happy with the last minute of this round.
Yes,
and it might pay off in the next round.
No doubt. You listen.
See, Corey, that's just a habit, him raising his hand, Santana, because obviously he didn't feel like a winner walking back to his corner. Not after that exchange.
Come on, baby. I need this round, okay? Okay? Listen to me. You get out there, you're the better fighter, okay? This guy got nothing on you. Nothing. You got to outwork this guy like you've been doing, okay? Just like you just did that last round. Both hands moving, shoot him under. Body shot, uppercut. Body shot, uppercut. One body shot, one uppercut. Put it together, okay? I need that.
Hey, aquí con todo. No te dejes, no te avientes. Bonito quiero. Pero tira en X ahí está. Vamos, cabrón, vamos. Vamos, Hey, acabarlo abajo. Abajo,
Easy money, vamos.
Ronnie Shields giving Truck the Mike Tyson combination, body shot, uppercut.
And you know, I like the fact that Ronnie, even though Truck is up in this fight, Ronnie is not letting him know. He says, I still need this round. Let's finish strong.
Yeah, there's a sense of urgency still in the corner of Lorenzo Simpson, and this is, as we've been calling it, and as he's calling it, the redemption tour. And these are still learning moments for Lorenzo Simpson, even in a fight that he seems to clearly be winning.
And let's be honest, he's not fighting a dead body. He's fighting a real live dog. It's a real threat. And he's pretty much dominating this fight.
Yeah, this is a man with an amateur record of 250-20. But Truck Simpson, well, he's got an amateur record of 181-3.
Yeah.
Two spectacular amateurs going at it here in our main event.
And that 181-3 are legit. So
no puff there. Real wins.
This is where Santana has success when he's on the ropes, unless Truck was setting them up. At that time, he wasn't.
Santana's doing a lot of holding. She is holding Truck's right hand.
I'd hold it too. That hand was hitting me.
Santana's going to need something big in this 8th and final round. Whether he finds it or not, he's already done the job that he's done throughout his career, and that's give good work to a legit prospect here tonight.
Oh, definitely. His mouth is wide open. He's tired, but he's letting his hands go. They're not hard shots, but he could be trying to steal the round.
He's leaning on Truck.
He's tired.
Very tired.
He's tired.
Body shots are doing their job as they're supposed to. But Truck has a minute here. I guess finish off with a statement.
Yeah, he has more. Ooh, good shot.
Beautiful right hook there from Simpson. Final minute of this contest. Credit to the referee here tonight. You hear just tiny little instructions here and there, but by and large, he has allowed both Simpson and Santana to work on the inside. As long as one hand is free, he's been letting it go.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Check out the vibe cam again. I love the vibe cam. I got a feeling they're going to turn it up right now.
Final 20 seconds of this contest. Santana will need something big to pull off the upset here.
While Santana was holding the right hand, Truck was killing him with the left.
Yes.
It looks like the redemption tour will roll along for Truck Simpson.
To end the fight.
As as Raiko Santana slumps over the top rope, absolutely exhausted. And he just ran into a better conditioned fighter here tonight.
A skillful truck at 168 pounds, stamina on point. I just can't wait to see him next time.
And again, not to look too far down the road, but Simpson is coming up in a 168-pound division that, I don't know, may be clearing out a little bit. We'll see what Canelo ultimately does. Benavidez has moved up. Still a ways to go for Truck Simpson, but we'll take a look back at his handiwork from tonight.
Exactly, 24 years old, but we see that he has a very, very high skill level.
We await the decision here in our main event, but we expect that Lorenzo Simpson will have his hand raised in just a few moments. In what should be a good bounce-back win for Truck Simpson. And again, all right, we are waiting to see what the scorecards look like. Is it possible we have an overtime round here?
What? I mean, I don't agree with this. If that's the case, obviously that's the case.
I mean, a little bit of confusion here, but that's certainly what it looks like.
Ladies and gentlemen, after going all 8 rounds, we go to the scorecard. Judge Oliver scores it 78-74. And judges Cronin and Kramer turn in identical scores of 76-76. This bout is declared a majority draw. But, as you know, the O in OTX stands for overtime. They go one more, an overtime round.
This is a lot of pressure because it's like, throw everything away, it's only this round that counts.
Right, and very quickly, 76-76 scorecards, guys, I just don't agree with them. But nonetheless, you have to put that aside, as you just said, Barack, because now we're in an overtime round, and all the momentum in the career of Lorenzo Simpson, that's hanging in the balance here tonight. Raiko Santana has an opportunity to score the upset if he can win this round.
Right. I'm surprised that we even going to the
I'm
overtime
so
round.
surprised. I didn't see Santana win more than 2 rounds in that fight.
I saw a competitive fight, but I saw Truck edging.
Nice right hand there from Raiko Santana. And again, remember, these are the judges that have just given Raiko Santana 4 rounds.
That's right.
So
Truck
Santana,
has to turn it up.
does he even need to change anything he's been doing?
It's a good point, Corey. I mean, I didn't see that fight being a draw.
So now we're seeing Santana throw his flurries and hold because he wants to try and win this shot.
He seems like
that's that amateur
Truck
experience.
has, things stacked against him. He didn't feel like he won that fight. Now he's
Well, exactly. You have fighters in 2 different emotional places right now. You have Simpson, who's probably confused, a little bit upset at what's going on. Raiko Santana, he's playing with house money right now. He is emboldened.
Trying to steal the rounds, shooting a couple of shots, and then hold.
I'm not sure what these judges are looking for, to be honest, guys.
Well, according to CompuBox totals right now, Lorenzo Simpson in this fight has outlanded Raiko Santana 129-74. Again, that's not how you score fights. You score them round by round.
But
it's an indication of what we thought we were seeing.
Exactly. It's not like it all happened in 2 rounds.
No, it happened throughout the entire fight.
1 minute remaining in the overtime round, which is also a money round, as Lorenzo Simpson tries to shoe shine to the body. Santana again. The old amateur boxing trick. You land a shot, pander to the judges.
Yep. The referee just whispered to him, I'm going to take a point.
Hard right hook over the top there from Simpson.
30 seconds left.
The whole fight is riding on this right now.
Everything is riding on this. And down goes Santana. That will be ruled a slip.
Yeah, but the crowd ruled it a knockdown.
Simpson, understandably right on top of Santana. Desperation time for Truck Simpson. As Raiko Santana ended the redemption tour against all odds, and maybe against all reason, because we don't understand the scorecards that sent this to overtime, quite frankly.
No, I definitely don't understand. I don't agree. And then you see Santana trying to use that amateur style to just steal the round. And who knows what the judges, I can't wait to hear.
I'm shocked, guys. I have to say. I'm looking and I'm trying to find what were the judges seeing and what were they looking for. But a lot of those shots were missing, being caught in the pocket. It seemed like, you mentioned it, Barack, like he was cruising the victory. He was comfortable in there.
In this round, that was a good shot by Truck, but I feel like in this particular round, Santana probably threw the more shots. And if that could have swayed the judges, even though the harder shots are by Truck.
Of course, that must have swayed the judges if the first 8 rounds.
We're looking at the flush shots. We're looking at the harder shots, literally the whole entire fight. So who knows what we're going to get now.
Well, everyone on pins and needles waiting for these scorecards. All right, let's take a look at the punch stats according to CompuBox here tonight. And again, perhaps that is what the judges are seeing there, just the sheer activity from Raiko Santana, who outthrew Lorenzo Simpson in this fight. But you see the landed shots, 139 to 79. Lorenzo Simpson much more accurate than Raiko Santana all night long. So what the judges were seeing, and again, it is on a round-by-round basis, clearly swayed by sheer activity.
But that's not good judging. Activity doesn't win fights. You got to land the shots.
All right. We have the scorecards in the ring. Let's send it up to Lupe.
Ladies and gentlemen, after going to only the 3rd overtime round in OTX history, the score reads as follows. Judge Oliver scores the overtime round in favor of Simpson. Judge Cronin scores the overtime round in favor of Santana. And our 3rd judge scores the overtime round in favor of the winner by way of split decision. El Coroco, Raiko Santana.
All right, 2 things. Obviously, a feel-good moment for Raiko Santana. He's overjoyed. He gets a victory. This is a man who's felt that he's been ripped off many times in his pro career. However, if you're Lorenzo Truck Simpson, you are justified in feeling ripped off here tonight. Barack, that is a really bad decision.
I totally agree with you. This sucks when you work so hard and you get something like this and you get robbed in the last round. I just hope that Truck is able to hold his head up and know in his heart that he won this comeback. And let's see them run this back.
Well, listen, it's also sad to think that even with mechanisms like this, an overtime round is designed to protect from injustice in boxing, that there's no way of escaping it. That even in a situation like this, where we have something built in to make sure that a bad decision doesn't happen, it happens anyway.
Right. Right. And maybe if they added up all of the scores, oh man, this is tough. This is tough.
Well, nonetheless, Raiko Santana picks up the 11th victory of his career, and that is a big boost to his career, picking up a win over Lorenzo Simpson. And once again, Truck upset here in Atlanta as we take a look back at some of the action from the overtime round.
I mean, this is basically what I saw. Slipping. Look, hard shots landed by Truck. Blocking that. Good work by Santana sometimes. Pity pats mostly, but good work.
Well, as you saw on the graphic there, you could vote for the C4 fight of the night. I suspect that a lot of the votes are going to go to Malik Montgomery and Cesar Juarez. However, the bad decision of the night goes to our main event, but Raiko Santana victorious here. And again, this is one of the difficulties when you talk about these things. Like, we don't agree with the decision. We feel that it was unjust. At the same time, Raiko Santana has been on the other end of this a couple times in his career. It's a difficult one to process, guys.
Shouldn't have to pay for that, whatever bad decisions that he's dealt with. And I'm going to reiterate here, you know, them first 8 rounds, to me, it wasn't a close fight. I gave Santana 2 rounds.
I mean, it was competitive, you know, but you looking at the quality of shots, you know, and what the judges probably didn't see is the defensive Truck.
Yeah, but if you're a professional judge, you're supposed to know that. That's your job, to look at defense, offense, and Corey pointed out the CompuBox, and that was throughout the fight. It wasn't like Truck won 2 rounds and landed big shots. He landed the big shots throughout the entire fight.
Raiko Santana celebrating here in the ring. Again,
I don't want to take his moment,
no,
Corey, but I need to be honest about what I saw in those first 8 rounds.
No, of course, and like I said earlier, it's disheartening that you can have a mechanism like this built in overtime boxing, where you have an overtime round. We're trying to prevent draws. We're adding another round to make sure that we get the right decision, and then you don't anyway. Boxing cannot stop getting in its own way, and it happens on a weekly basis.
Defeated the entire purpose of an overtime round.
I'm ready to see a rematch. I hope Truck can hold his head up and know that he had a good performance. But Ronnie Shields, I mean, if you think about it, at the end of the 8th round, Ronnie Shields was still kind of giving it to Truck, knowing that you got more in you. You should have did more to clearly win this fight. And I think that's what he's going to be saying in the locker room right now. Even though we saw a Truck.
Sure, and 2 things can be true, right? I mean, could he have done more in each and every round? Sure. Is there more that Ronnie Shields wanted out of him? Sure. Was that enough to have won the fight? Yes.
Yeah, I mean, look, a guy that has been celebrated, right? You call him a blue chip, Corey, and took a tough loss in a close fight against Hernandez, comes back, he's on a redemption tour, and goes out here and really gets the victory in the first 8 rounds. I mean, talk about hitting a wall because of a judge. I mean, I don't know what they were looking for. So, yes, Santana did well in that overtime round, but we are erasing what happened in the fight.
Yeah. He probably landed the most shots in that round.
For sure. Well, listen, we don't want to belabor what was a puzzling ending to the night, because we had a lot of fun here tonight at the OTE Arena. Some tremendous action from start to finish. Even in that main event, it gave us drama, even though it was a little bit confusing in the end. But in particular, an absolutely memorable war between Malik Montgomery and Cesar Juarez. But that will be the lasting memory of this night. The decision going the way of Raiko Santana. But nonetheless, a fun night of action from here in Atlanta. A reminder that you can vote for the C4 fight of the night at the Overtime Boxing Instagram page. For my broadcast colleagues, Ak and Barack, and for everyone back in the truck making us look and sound good here tonight, I'm Corey Erdman saying so long, and we'll see you at the fights. Tremendous looking tournament